Oh, you didn't start the recording yet?
Hey, I was a little busy, sorry.
That's what I said. Are you ready? My bad too. I thought I should have listened to hear that. Okay, Patrick, you had some comments with the paint color?
Right, yeah, on the trim color that they're showing is actually a body color,
Yes.
not a trim color, but I don't have a problem with it. You know, I just, maybe that should be noted in our approval.
Oh, yeah, I'm okay.
But I'm okay.
Certainly do that.
Approve with comments?
Yep. So item number 16. Well, who made the motion first off to approve?
I did.
it?
Rich.
Rich. Okay, so the motion came from Rich to approve. And then Patrick would like the comment added that the body color is actually a trim color, but it is approved by the ACC. We are okay with that. And Patrick, yeah, we do need to do some work on our colors. I would think to make that a little clearer. But all in favor of approval?
Aye.
Right.
I'm sorry, who seconded?
I'll second it.
That was, okay. Well, it was Patrick, but that's fine. So it's going to be Rich and then Daniel for the second. Is that correct, Diane?
Okay, got it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So it's unanimous. Thank you, Linda, if you're here.
I'm here, Keith. Can you hear me?
I can now, yes.
One of the things I wanted to say that I came across is when you look at any of the trim colors, they're all some sort of white. I've had dark green on the house ever since I had it repainted in I think 2006, and it was approved. And it'd be nice if you'd add some maybe darker trim colors, because with me in the trim and living up here where there's lots of trees, white turns green real quick.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. Yeah, and you get that moss and a little bit of algae here and there. And so, yeah, I agree that we should be looking at doing that. I agree 100%.
Okay, thanks so much. I'm going to mute you, move on.
All right, thank you, Linda. Appreciate your time. Okay, so now we're going down to item number 5, which is 27 Wisteria Lane. And that is for a tree removal, and it looks like it has an arborist report with it. I need to turn my light on. Item number 5. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Just on all of these tree trimming or removal ones, I have a question. Should there be any mention of replanting or leaving the stump?
Yes, yeah, always. So when you go out and look, that's a good question. So when you go out and look and they're on a slope, in particularly something that's approaching a 2-to-1, we typically like to leave that stump there for erosion control. And not only that, it's a deadhead for woodpeckers and other type of wildlife as well. So yes, we can't ask them to do that. And as far as replanting, we kind of look at the area where they're at. Some trees that are needed to be removed are in precarious places anyway. So replanting, but in a different area. And we could do that at a 1-to-1, 2-to-1, or 3-to-1 ratio, depending on, how bare or what we're looking at. So each house or each case is usually looked at separately.
Hello.
Hi, Steve.
Yes, I just wanted to add a comment quickly that the Whatcom County natural resource people explicitly asked to leave the stump there,
Perfect.
not to remove it. And they did not ask to have other replantings put in there. It's already got a dense undergrowth of small bushes and trees there. Immediately to the east of it is a 20-foot drop down to Louis View Drive. So there's not a lot of space there. It's a very steep part of the terrain here.
Thank you for that. So any other comments, questions, or concerns?
I'll move to approve it.
Okay, that's Rich. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
That's Patrick. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. And I'm going to ask any opposed because I can't see everybody in my screen. So I'll have to ask that every time because I cannot see us four for some reason. So unless I can figure out how to change that. So I'll ask that. But right now that was unanimous then. Hey, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move down to Aaron is with 23 and 24. That is the new homes. Is that correct? Yes.
Yep.
That's new homes. We're going to skip those. So we're going to go to see, we'll skip Gordon and Claire. We'll go down. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, item number 10, 44 Windward Drive, Gordon and Claire. This is for the standalone garage to remove his carport and replace it with the single car garage.
Yep.
Yep. Hey, Gordon, I appreciate all you've done here, man. This is a good example of a, in my opinion, a good example of a homeowner trying to make things work well with the community and within our guidelines. And I just want to commend you on that. I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Yep. And any other comments or questions? For 44 Windward, item number 10. Okay, while you guys are taking a second to look at that, I owe Roberta Clark an apology. She is the architect for 44 Windward. And I was under the assumption, it was a gentleman that called in that night with Gordon was the architect. And we had all made that assumption. And so we assumed the architect had not visited the site, but apparently that gentleman is not the architect. It was a different lady and I have never spoken to her. So I apologize for making that comment.
It confused us a little bit, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I was confused. Yeah, so I apologize. So,
Thank you.
yes, sir. Okay, guys, any questions, comments, or concerns? 44 Windward.
I think it's a good time to point out how much effort we as a committee work with the residents because we really want to make things work for them. And we spent a lot of time on this and deliberated over it quite a bit. And I think we compromised and it's,
Yeah.
I'm good with it now.
So you make the motion to approve?
I make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, Rich. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, all opposed?
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay, we have one abstain, and that's Joe Jean. Okay, you've been approved, Gordon. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. I would like to make one comment on this, and this is really more for admin. Because Diane, I don't know how you guys are going to handle this. Typically on any new construction, you know, we ask for a deposit on that, just like an incentive to get it done in a timely fashion. This being a standalone and not necessarily a room addition, I don't know how you guys want to address that, but I'll leave that up for Joanne and for admin to determine that.
My builder's going to be starting on this in the next couple of weeks.
Sweet.
And we've got to get it done before the moratorium. And,
Yes, you do.
And Ethos West have got a good reputation for getting in and out fast.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Sounds good, man. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your time.
Thanks all. Bye.
And also, Daniel, thank you. I'd like to appreciate the committee at this time too. You guys did spend an extraordinary amount of time on this project, along with many others we've looked at recently. And so I really do commend you guys for putting forth that time and effort as well. So
All right.
thank you.
See ya. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, next one is item 28. These are going to be all new builds. Okay, item number 12, 17 Rocky Ridge. Oh, that's a new construction too. Okay, item number 19. That's a new construction. All right, the rest of these are all new construction. All right, so let's go back. Go ahead.
20 is not a new construction.
Are they here for that? No, I don't think they're here. I just wanted to get through anybody that's waiting here. I think everybody else is waiting for new construction.
No,
Isn't Terry here?
Vicky, what project are you here for?
25 Wisteria, deck fencing.
Oh, very good. Thank you very much. I see you down here. Okay, item number 17, guys, we're gonna jump to that one. And that's, it's actually gonna be item 17 and 18, 25 Wisteria Lane. So item 17 and 18. So on my comments on that, I'm okay with you wanting to use the hog wire. This is just me again, hog wire and wood fence for your decking just because of location where you're at. I think that's fine, especially if you're going to stain it and do that brown color like you're recommending here, and you're going to use a black mesh. I think that'll look fine up there. So I was good with that one, and I'm glad you separated your request. And so we'll take these one at a time. So we'll do item number 17 first. So this is to replace the existing deck railing up top with basically wood wire, like hog fence, but black mesh. Any comments or concerns on that?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, that's Joe Jean, and that's Patrick. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, that's unanimous. So item number 17 has been approved. Okay, item number 18, they want to use lattice on the left side of the house under the deck to provide privacy screening from the neighbor's windows, which look right into theirs. The lattice will be square rather than diamond shaped to cover approximately 30 to 40% of the area in the middle of the openings. So for me, again, I'm just going to start out quick, let you guys have a second to look at it. I'm opposed to the lattice. I don't like lattice, period, because after a few years, it looks, I mean, they do make some nice lattice, but that's expensive lattice. I don't know what you're proposing to use. We don't have samples, so I can only assume the worst. And so I'm against lattice. I don't think, because your elevation, you're a little higher off the street, it's visible, very visible, and you do actually have a nice view from up there. I actually walked up there on your porch. But yeah, I gotta be a no for me. That's just me, but a no for me on the lattice. Anybody have any other comments?
I had that concern too, Keith, mainly because it is such a prominent part of the architecture. It's a tall deck, and that would cover a lot of the facade of the building. Again, I really don't like the lattice either, and I think it's not a good solution. And I agree with you again that there are some good lattice products out there, and I would certainly entertain something like that. But I did notice the same things Keith did about lattice after a year or two. You know, they're just cheaply stapled together and definitely fall apart. That's happened in my case. So I feel the same way.
How tall are they going to be?
They're going to be basically through the middle. So they would be, I don't know, about 5 feet maybe.
So you said it's 30 to 40% of the underspace. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's just trying to, it's not going to hit the ground or the top. It would be sort of a panel in the middle. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah, did you know, so you could do privacy screens. Have you looked in the appendix to actually see like what is approved, like actually privacy panels? You are allowed to put those in, again, with ACC approval, but I didn't know if that would work for you, if you wanted to be able to see through it kind of and get some air. I didn't understand exactly what the intent was.
Yeah, so I'm not familiar with what you're talking about, looking about what's approved. Where can I see that?
Yeah, so if you and online, and if Diane can get you over there, you should probably do it nowadays while you're on the darn computer with us. I know my kids can do that. Look up other stuff, but in the appendix in the back of the ACC policies, they have different designs of like fencing, and they show the hog wire and wood like you want to do up top, that you're actually we're approving that for your thing. It shows a split rail. Oh, maybe they don't show a privacy panel. I don't see a privacy panel in here. But it talks about it in the policies, and those can be 6 foot wide by 8 foot tall, but they have to be spaced apart. They can't be next together like a continuation, a continuing fence, but you are able to put something like that in there, and it is approved through the ACC on location, but it is an approved type of fence that you could use for that location. If you're thinking like you only needed 2 or 3, strategically placed panels.
Okay, I'll check that out and resubmit. Thank you.
Oh, you bet.
What about the screening? shows area to be screened.
Yes, I'm sorry, what about it?
I mean, is that like screens on a window so like bugs don't get in there, or is that referring to the
Privacy.
privacy?
It's-
Okay,
It's all for privacy. Yeah.
okay. But is it actual screen like you would have over a window where you pull the screen out, or?
No, we were talking just about lattice.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
all right.
Okay, so it sounds like the homeowner would be okay with deferring this item, pending further information. So she's gonna do a little research and check out the thing and then resubmit is what it sounded like. And if you wanted to resubmit something in lattice, like you're stuck on that lattice and you actually found a product that's a good durable lattice and you're willing to put that in, that is certainly something we would entertain as long as we could see what it's looking like, you know, what you wanted to use. So we could see a sample of it.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your time, Victoria. I appreciate, or Vicky, excuse me. I appreciate it. Okay, so that's item 18. Oh, so the motion, excuse me, the motion on the table would be defer. I'll make that motion to defer.
I'll second.
Okay. Hang on, I don't want to get, so 17 was passed unanimously, 18. Going to be Keith and Joe Jean. Okay, all in favor of deferring?
Aye.
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 Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, that's item 18. Okay,
Keith, Terry Stosh has his hand up here.
and what project is that one?
181 Polo Park.
Okay, let's see, 181. Oh, that's new construction?
No, this is just an addition. I don't know if that lumps me in with new construction or not, but it's not new construction as in a totally new house.
Okay, okay, and that's it for everybody else. We're not talking about any other additions right now or anything else, correct? Everyone else is good? Okay, all right, Cherry, you're lucky. All right, we're gonna go over to 181 Polo Park Drive, which was item number 22. Item number 22. Oh, item 22, is that? Can't be, item 22, that's item 23. 22. That's 21. Interesting. Well, Terry, I've lost item 22. So if anyone else has that, you're welcome to go ahead and start talking about it while I'm digging through my stack here to find it.
Is this the paint where body is black and the trim is white?
I'm gonna be honest with you. My wife picked the colors. I didn't even look at them. So
It's peppercorn and alabaster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
peppercorn is black,
Yeah.
basically, and alabaster is bright
Sure.
white.
And these are pre-approved colors.
I'd be happy to let her know that you guys don't like it if you want.
Is that a way to get you off the hook?
Yeah.
Well, is it, I don't remember, I don't have the color approval in front of me, but I thought peppercorn was an approved trim color.
I believe you are correct, and I have that right.
We're not.
Peppercorn's an approved body color, and
Yeah.
all the lighter colors are the approved trim colors.
Okay,
So, but the one thing, the garage door, there is a policy that says garage door color should be body color, and it is listed as a lighter alabaster here.
Well, full disclosure to the group, at some point, we'll probably, like next year, we didn't spend a lot of time thinking about the garage door or the front door, because we'll probably next year, once this construction is done, ask for something different. So we just threw something in there. I mean, if you tell us it has to be peppercorn, then it has to be peppercorn. I don't care.
I mean, personally, it is a bit of a departure from some of the other designs in the neighborhood, but I like it.
I will say it's definitely not, I'll tell you that we're going for a more not 2000 house look when this thing's all said and done. And the main thing, our main focus right now is just getting the addition on. I mean, not that any of this matters, but my wife and her kids are currently in Kansas City and they're in the process of moving out here. So the whole point of the addition is just adding more rooms for them. We looked at that, and even in Sun Valley, and our lot being flat with the young kids just works better. So that's why we settled on just adding on to the house. But from a color standpoint, I mean, we're flexible. We like the darker colors. The garage door probably next year we'll ask for, I mean, this is gonna be like I don't know, probably a evolving thing over the next couple of years. So the garage door and the front door, we'll probably ask next summer to dial in what we really want to do with those.
We should put the white on there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, be like, okay. Yeah, I was trying to remember which one it is. Now you see the picture there. Thank you, Joel, for putting that up there. Yeah, I remember this house. Yeah, it was for me, it was a no brainer, except for the let's see, the only thing I had was there was question something about the height change. Structure height. This change would affect the structure height. And I guess the existing structure height will change now that you're going to add your addition is what that meant. So I was like, I didn't see anything clouded on the plans denoting any changes, but that's what it is, the addition itself.
Yeah, it's going up above the garage.
Yeah, another story. Yeah, so that was the only comment I had. So for me.
Yeah, and I think the height's at 25 feet and a few inches. So we're within that 30. And it's a flat lot.
Yep.
So I think we're good on the height. We're good on lot coverage rules. They've got a third of an acre lot.
Can we get a motion?
Are we just approving the colors? Is that what we're talking about?
No, you're doing addition to the house. So over the garage, he's going to do a 2-story add-on up top.
And we didn't approve that at some other point. I mean,
it was conditionally approved in March pending building permits and things like that. And so I reached out to you guys in March because I didn't want to spend a bunch of money like finalizing plans and things and start getting building permits before that. So we're literally weeks away from having the building permits. We've got the builder lined up. And we at one point, yeah, I know, right? And then we at one point we thought we might have to get a variance, but we got all that worked out with the county. So we're just kind of looking for your approval so that when all the stars align, I can have the construction guys come out. And I talked to Joel and he said, if it gets approved, to make sure, have the builder meet with you guys, or set an appointment with Joel. So that way he knows what the rules are and all that kind of stuff. So I've already talked to him about that.
Yep.
So should we approve it and defer the paint colors?
No, I'd say no, I think unless you have a problem with it, if you're not, it depends. We'll take a vote. If you're not in alignment with the paint colors, we could certainly say no on the.
They are pre-approved paint colors.
They are. Yeah, so basically the only thing we'd be saying is we don't like his garage door and his door, and I don't think he's gonna like his garage door and door when you have a house that color and then paint everything white. But
well, and if you could give me some flexibility, like, can I do black? Can I just have it match the house or the trim? Like, I'm good with that, and then let her pick, because I think you're right. I don't think she's gonna like that big giant bright white door.
yeah, so that's up to the committee. So if you guys want to say, hey, we're good with the peppercorn on the body, but we're not good with the trim, that's up to you. Or you can just approve it the way it is, and then we could ask him to repaint it, or he'll repaint it when he's.
I'm going to move to approve the colors he submitted.
Okay, that's Joe Jean. Rich, Pat, or Daniel, did you have any comments as well?
Well, is the peppercorn just going to be the addition, or is it going to be the entire house?
No, the whole house. This whole house needed to get painted when I bought it, and then once we realized that she was going to be moving out sooner than we thought, then I put all that on hold. Like, didn't even apply for it because I want to make sure the whole house got painted the same color. That would be a little weird. I would vote to not approve that as well.
And then she definitely wouldn't have a problem with the front door being white.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, if you get into it and you decide you want to change your paint colors partway through, you can put in a one-page construction change request and pick different paint colors.
Okay, cool.
Guys, any other comments, questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay, we have a motion on the table by Joe Jean to approve,
I'll second.
and that Daniel,
Yes.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. All right, you've been approved,
Thank-
Terry. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate your time.
All right, thank you guys.
Okay, that was 181, right? 181 Polo Park. 181. Okay. A lot of new construction, Okay, anybody else here for anything that is not new construction that's in attendance right now with us? Anybody else? Just raise your hand if you are. Okay, everyone else here is for new construction. So, Mr. Carter, I will let you start off with new construction. You can go how you want. You know your people that are here, so I'll let you decide which one you want to go to. Just let us know.
Sure, we got a few people here that have multiple projects, so we could
Yep.
start with the folks who have a single project. Item number 12, 17 Rocky Ridge. And
Item 12, 17 Rocky Ridge.
we have JWR Design here, and I believe also Eileen
Yes. Yes, we're both here.
and Paul. Is Paul one or
Paul? Who?
someone named Paul is on the
I don't know.
Indies
Okay,
list.
quick question for you, Joel, for me.
Yeah.
A couple questions I had is one, and this is real quick, because I didn't have the big site plan and I didn't go to the office, and so I tried doing this from site. We don't have I didn't see houses on the site plan next to it. There's only a house, I believe, to the right, but I didn't see it drawn on the plan. But I can't
Let's
recall.
see here.
And then the only other question I had was the height. And this thing seems really, really tall.
Yep, hang on here.
Yep. That's the only two things that I think I have something noted. I can't even read it. I have to get a magnifying glass. Hang on. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, there were two site plans here that they were working with. And I know there's a lot of detail on this smaller one here, and I can zoom in and show you, but they did update it with the adjacent wall lines of the house, if I can. So it's there. And initially it was above the height limit. And I think I made the request that you have to show you're 10 feet away from the wall and show how you're meeting the height limit. And they are at this spot back here. Here's
That's
our
the
10.
only place it could be. And did
I
you?
know, here's our 10. So these grade lines, they're gonna regrade this back spot, and over here at this point, right above this rear retaining wall, the elevation is gonna be 519. And then with the elevation of the house, that'll put the, where is it here?
Yeah, this thing is gonna be massive from the front looking at it.
Yeah, it will look tall from the front, but it does meet the requirement from the back. So from at that height at the back, then the height I think is 19 and a half. And I think I put that in my report. Did I not? Oh, something's wrong here.
Yeah, so my question was, it is like
Yeah.
massively tall, and why the 12-12 pitch roof? I guess, I'll let them answer that, but I had my reasons in my head, but I'd like to get an answer why we need the 12-12.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it just creates the look that we were going for. I think this house is just really.
You're right.
So I think that's why we went with the 12-12, and it meets the height requirements. So why not have 12-12 if it looks good?
Yeah, it matches the architecture for sure, but I thought I'd let you answer that. But yeah, I was like, and it's awful pitchy, but we do get snow here, so I'm not opposed necessarily to a 12-12 unless you're trying to work on it. The concern was for me for the front of it, man, this thing's gonna look massive.
Mhm.
But from the back, and I guess I was the only place I could figure you took that elevation at one spot, and I was like, I couldn't find it on the plan. So I was
Yeah,
like,
it's quite something, yeah.
but I'm like, it's close, man. It's gotta be close.
Yeah, Joel did a great job of kind of trying to help us figure that out, so we had to work on it quite a bit to get it all dialed in, but it's dialed in really beautifully now, thanks to Joel helping us do that, so.
Okay, Joel, you want to go ahead and
Yeah.
finish your report with us, and then
Yeah, let me dig it up here. The one I have uploaded on the page didn't seem to
yeah, not complete.
be the right one.
Oh yeah, retaining.
Oh, so the retaining wall on this on the right side of the house, the south side of the home, on the site plan. If we look at this,
Yeah, show us on yours, because
yeah, it's been proposed to cover this retaining wall with vegetation.
yeah.
But I'm wondering where if we have, and so we're talking about this retaining wall here along the south edge. And if you're going to cover that with the vegetation, where will that vegetation be planted? Because we've got a gravel pathway right up against that retaining wall.
Hey, give me the height of that retaining wall, Joel.
It's going to follow the grade.
Yeah.
Is that right, Emily?
Yes, that's right, yep, so it will be following the grade, but it will also be different heights at different points just because of the grade, so yeah, wherever.
How much will be exposed, like the most area that's exposed? We're talking 3 foot high or 5 foot high, or
I think it'll be at least 5 feet where it will be exposed, 5 feet, yep.
so that's and it's long. So on average, that was my concern, just the length of it,
Yeah.
and then
So you'll only see that, sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
You'll only see the exposure from when you're walking up the path here. So it'll only be from the inside. You won't see it on the outside, if that makes sense. So from the inside, when you're walking up, these are like landscape.
yeah, right.
You'll
Gotcha.
see it from the inside, but when you're looking on the outside, because of the grade, it won't be 5
It'll
feet
be-
tall. Yeah.
So yeah, so from your side, you will see that retaining wall. The
Yeah,
other
yeah,
side,
when you're walking up there, you'll see the retaining wall, but when you're looking from the side, you won't see it.
it'll be buried. Yeah. Okay.
So wood screen or exposed aggregate are pre-approved materials. It's been proposed to cover it with vegetation. But again, I'm not sure if we have a gravel pathway there.
Yeah.
Where will that vegetation be planted?
I'm happy to put whatever needs to be there. I was trying to plan my gardening out, and I just don't know that I'm there yet in terms of we've been working on the house so much. But we did put in a landscaping plan with this. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
we have
I
that.
don't know if it would be possible, Eileen, to plant it on top since we're kind of to grade, and then it will kind of fall below. But we could also, there's other options. We could cover it with like cedar, which would look nice. Could they paint it? Is that allowed?
Well, is this going to be poured in place concrete? This retaining wall, is that what you're
That's
planning?
my understanding.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. So poured in place concrete. Yeah, if you were to do like an epoxy concrete paint, right? Something that's made for concrete. You're gonna have moisture issues on this one with some pressure because it is buried on the backside.
Yeah.
So that would be the only thing. So you'd want something that's gonna adhere to that concrete. So it'd have to be something made for concrete. And they do make some nice paints now for that bond really well. But it had to be prepped right, and then you could paint it like a brown or black or something that matched, that goes along with the design of your house. Something like that. That way it's covered, and you could also still do your planting up top like you're suggesting, with some wisteria or something hanging over, or deer won't eat. Good luck with that.
Yeah. I was also thinking maybe just pots with things that go up on a lattice, like not a wooden lattice, but like a metal wire lattice or something.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, yeah.
Something attractive. I want it to look nice. You know, like, I do care. I just haven't like designed it yet in my head.
Okay,
It's kind of hard to design your garden before you've built your house.
yeah. Okay, any other questions, comments, guys? And then we want Joel to get back over our, or go ahead and go over your check sheet too, if you would, Joel, if you got that all corrected, you know. For
Yeah,
property coverage and all that stuff.
Yeah. So lot coverage, 33%. Open space, we're right there. We have 50.7% remaining.
So you are.
So we are meeting the property and lot coverage rules. There is one detail I've asked about. I've sent it over to Mike Rock just about where the stormwater will exit, but that'll be a question for him. Otherwise, all I have left are, you know, it's been the glass on the spec sheet isn't frosted, but they say they are going to frost that by the end. You know, the paint is not pre-approved coat, so those will need to be considered by the ACC.
Yep, I liked it myself, so that's just me.
They're very muted. They're not bright.
Mhm.
I went into the paint store and checked that.
Yeah, and see your rock cladding you have over there and accents, that's something else that looks awesome on retaining walls, you know.
Yeah, if we can afford that.
Okay, yeah.
I've heard it's pricey, but if, you know,
But it looks
we
good.
have to go with what we can afford, but yeah. If I could do that, I would.
Yeah.
I'll take
Glad
it into
Joel.
consideration.
Yep. But yeah, what else? Pretty flat driveway.
Yeah.
I don't have any other. The only kind of remaining detail then is how they want to cover the retaining wall.
Yeah.
That's all I have left for this one.
Okay, and then so another comment I had on here, and it's gonna be on a few of these, is a lot of trees are coming down, right? And we have, like, unfortunately, a lot of builds that are right next to each other, like 4 of them. that
Yeah.
are right next to each other. And so when we remove these kind of trees, the community notices
Right.
it. So be
So
very cautious. You're right next to a little trail kind of thing over there.
Right. And I have a
So-
lot of, I do have comments on that. So like
Okay.
the one in the front that's by the power box. I don't know if you can see it. It's in that where the little corner of the driveway. This one, the one
This
that's,
one here?
it's a 45 inch fir.
Oh, fur.
You see that? It's
This
in
guy
the front
here.
of the house. Yeah. So I went down to the property and looked at it real good, and it's basically growing right up into the power box.
Mhm.
And my husband worries about it being like that over the driveway. And so we'd be happy to take that one just down to a stump if that could be approved. But the ones in the back, we don't actually want to take out. These in the back, sort of northeast.
These
All
couple here.
those northeast trees. We just asked for that to be approved if during the excavation, any of them get their roots poorly damaged in any way. We don't want to leave them. But we would love to leave them otherwise, because we have kids and we'd love to, let them run around in the forest and have a good time. So we want to be eco-friendly, but we also don't want a tree to fall on our house immediately after building it. So that's kind of where we're at. We're wanting to leave the trees as much as we can, but we wanted approval if we damage the roots. Like if excavation things happen, I don't really, because that's quite an elevation. I don't know if you have been over there, but
Yeah.
all those trees are on a hill, and some of them are already kind of like half dead looking.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but some of them. And so I'm concerned about like excavation issues right now.
Yeah, that's just why a lot of times I recommend trying to get an arborist, because up right in that back right-hand corner of that property up there, some of those trees look gnarly, right? They do look like an arborist might say, hey, you're taking these down. You need to remove a couple of these because they already come down.
And I'd like to bring someone in on that. I just haven't yet. Yeah, we've been moving as fast as we can, actually. We just started in November. So, I was kind of hoping to have the arborist come in when we were doing the excavation to kind of guide us through.
We would absolutely love that and embrace that if you would do that.
Okay, yeah, I can agree to that. So if you just want to put that in your notes that I'm agreeing to that, I will bring in a professional when we do that.
And follow their recommendation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that fir tree up in the front of the property, that, you know, on the, it does look like it's surveyed on SVCA
Yeah.
right away,
that's
so
what I
that'll
was
need
concerned
approval
about.
by SVCA staff as well.
Okay.
Yep,
But
so we're, I'm good with that. I really, I encourage everyone to get an arborist if you can, and
Okay.
it really saves a lot of headache, and then for us, it makes it easy to say, yep, your arborist, certified arborist said that tree needs to come down. It just makes it easier for us to say, yes, it comes down, and we can
Okay.
defend ourselves in the community by saying, hey, it's certified arborist said it needed to come down, so
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
And,
I would prefer to work with an arborist for sure.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, or concerns, guys?
Well, I just had one. It shows the garage door is going to be the same color as the trim. And according to the requirements in the book, there it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be the body color. So I don't know if
That's
that.
correct. And they could ask for a variance if they wanted to change that, but that's a good point, Patrick.
Yeah, the reason I went with that, it just the contrast just didn't look good. When I colored it on a color sheet myself, and it just didn't look good.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. That's just me, but.
Yeah, because the rock is light colored, so the doors would be darker.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I just,
Okay.
be mentioned in our approval.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Guys, anything else?
Yeah, I'm good with all the colors and all that too, but I do want to point out, and I was waiting to hear how this met our height requirements, because it is a very imposing facade. And we are pushing the limits on the lot coverage too. And I think that's why you're running into problems with which trees you want to cut down, and can we
Yeah.
cut this one down too? I think this is really pushing it, and it doesn't appear that there's consideration for the lot and the surrounding area. I realize it's all within the limits, and you've talked to Joel in the county about what the limits are, but this really does push it, and it really doesn't seem to play well with the surrounding area.
In what way exactly? I'm just curious.
It's just a very imposing facade, and it looks like you're really covering a lot of your lot coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are, like you mentioned, we are meeting the requirements, so that's just kind of what we stuck with, and
Not a terribly large lot.
yeah, so we're just, we're doing.
I know
like-
that's the thing. I mean, you
Yeah.
have to design to the lot, and that's
Yeah.
one of the considerations that we on our committee have, is that
Yeah.
is this design consistent with the lot and the surrounding area? I would say this is not, but you have met the requirements, and even though I'm not happy with it, if the rest of the team is okay with it and we've met the requirements, okay. I did want to make that point though.
No, and I appreciate that point, Daniel. You brought up a couple of good issues. One is lot coverage. They are pushing it big time. And the size of this house is immense. It's going to look immense. But looking at it from probably a different perspective is that it is backed up to like a very steep hill. So the back of it won't seem very high. It's just going to be the front that seems so big. So it kind of fits in that it's going into, like a big hill behind it. But I totally understand what you're saying. It was like on a flat lot totally, and then you have this monstrosity. It is going to be big, right? With a 12 pitch roof just adds to that, this monstrosity house there. Yeah, I think definitely would look out of place in that, context. If you had a single story and a single story, and then this 3.5 story structure next to it, I agree 100% with what Daniel's saying.
I did think about that, and I just want to point out that a number of the other houses on the street are quite tall and large and closer to the road.
Well, we look at a lot by lot, but yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just trying to consider that. I did try to look at like what was around us.
Any other questions, comments, guys? Where do you think you want to head with this?
Joel, can you pull up a picture of what the other houses look like around there?
Yeah, let me see here. I could, I've got a, let me see what I got.
Joel, do you still do that 360 camera?
I have it. I haven't used it yet this year. You want me to start?
Well, this would be a perfect one for that. We can give you a 360 panoramic view of the area.
I can, let's see. I'll pull up a photo of the next door neighbor house here. Yeah, but I know that, on my visit, the neighbor house does go back up into the similar height here. So here's the neighboring home. They got a sloped driveway up and then 2-story.
That's a steep driveway, yeah.
These are photos are just from the Whatcom County Assessor site. That's not too steep. It looks steep from that angle.
Is that the same house?
Yeah.
Well, it certainly looks steeper from that angle.
It does, yeah.
It's up there.
So I think that, so I think they're probably going to be side by side.
Yeah.
The 17 Rocky Ridge won't be towering above this one.
Yeah, because their lot is flat on that side of the street that they're building on. Well, kind of flat.
We're
Across the
building a
street
little
is-
lower.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, it is actually, then goes up, so.
Yeah. But yeah, I have, they were above the height requirement before when they initially submitted plans, and I said, hey, you need to show how you're meeting that height requirement. And I'm happy to send ACC some of those, that correspondence to show how they are meeting it in the end.
I'm all right with it. I think along with the height, I think Daniel was just saying the overall size, like she was saying, the lot is small. So it should be a smaller house on a smaller lot. And you want a big house, you can get a big lot. But like I said, you're in kind of a unique thing right there. That's why we look at them case by case. And I think where you're at, for me, again, only for me, I don't speak for the whole committee. For me, I'm okay with what you have proposed. That is just me. Rich, you have any comments? Okay.
Nope.
All right, can we get a motion on this project?
I move that it be approved.
Was that Rich?
Patrick.
What do we want to do about the retaining wall screening?
I am, okay, good. Okay, that was Patrick. Hang on, let me just make a note of that. So Patrick. Okay, and then we'll probably make the comments on there. So the retaining wall, I'm okay with the this, again, me, and I'll let the committee decide too. I'm okay with like the black or brown epoxy paint, something that's going to match your house. Obviously, you have design ideas what you want to do, but it's got to match, something that'll blend in. The idea is to cover it so it's just not gray retaining wall.
Totally.
Sure.
I agree to that. I'm happy to please.
So yeah, it'd have to be like a concrete based type, epoxy made for that. And then I don't know if you guys have any additional comments on that, or maybe you disagree with me. Rich, Joe, Patrick, Daniel,
No, that's good.
you good with that? Okay. Okay, and then the other issue was the additional trees, so that we're going to agree to an arborist report.
Yes.
Okay, so epoxy. I know Diane's keeping notes. I'm gonna just write it to you on this one, and an arborist report. And that's for your benefit as well as ours, so that's great. Okay, any other conditions, guys? That's it? And again, like I said, overall, just be cognizant of the community and those trees. People are gonna be concerned, and there's gonna be several new builds that most likely are gonna be getting approved today, and so I can just hear it already. You guys are destroying our forest. So just be cognizant of that.
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a second? So Patrick made the motion. I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, that's Rich. Any opposed? Okay, so it's unanimous. All in favor. You've been approved with those conditions.
Awesome. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Hey,
Yeah.
thank you for your time. I appreciate it. You guys, good luck with this.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, that's 17. Item number 12. Okay. All right, Joel, what's next?
All right, let's do, you want to do, item number 19, 6 Loganberry?
Item number 19. Oh, I got a lot of notes here. Okay, item number 19, 6 Loganberry, new construction.
I believe we have someone in attendance.
19. All right, I just had some comments on the lighting, you know, they show the same lighting sample, but with no cap on the top. We got to make sure those tops.
Yeah.
You know, on the lights.
So we have David here.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, David.
What was the question about the lights?
No, the lights need a cap on top.
Mhm.
So yeah, go ahead, Joel, you can tell them.
Yeah, so we see a lot of these lights being approved. There is policy against having lights that shine upward. A lot of times these fixtures have 2 light bulbs in them. So you need to make sure, you know, if this is approved and installed, it needs to be capped on the top of this light here.
Okay.
Yeah, it needs a cap,
Yeah.
so a black cap or something, so the light can't shoot upwards. And then the other question,
Right, yeah.
garage door and front doors, you had no accent colors.
I was just planning to make it same as the body color.
Okay,
I should have made a note. That's my bad.
same as body. Okay. Okay, and then let's see other notes I had. So you have a lot of tree issues as well on your property. And matter of fact, on yours, I wrote on here, I would like to see an arborist report on site to determine health of remaining trees. So not only are the trees you want to remove, and you have a few that need to be removed, in my opinion. I am not an arborist, but just looking around, there's a few additional trees that look like they may need to come down while you're there working. And I don't want a builder, any builder, to leave a problem for later. Like you're going to sell your house, someone's going to move in, and now it's their deal. So
Right.
So there's these 2 trees that are they appear to be owned by the adjacent lot. I have marked here number 1 and 2, these fir trees. So we've got here on the
are they
plan.
marked on the site plan 1 and 2 on yours, Joel?
Do I? I don't think I marked. I didn't mark it on the site plan. This is just a photo I took.
Oh, okay.
I don't have this.
I believe.
included.
Sorry. I believe those were on, like, if you go on the property line, they're considered to be on the other property.
Yes. So
I
it's
was
like-
wondering if, like, I was gonna have someone come out and, you know, if it was gonna be a concern where they need to be cut down while I'm there, I'm, you know, happy to do that, but
Yeah, so what you have to do with that, so this is what I would probably recommend in if I was gonna approve this, I would say, hey, this is what you're gonna have to do. One would be getting an arborist report. The arborist report needs to look at, I also made a note here by your drive. You have some issues by your driveway here. And maybe that's the one you're talking about. There's a tree almost right on the property line. There's one a little further down. And it is on the neighbor's property. So say you're digging your footing and your arborist says, hey, you're 6 feet away from this tree, you're going to do significant damage to the tree, but it's on the adjoining property. You would discuss that with your neighbor and agree to take it down at the time you're having your trees removed. If your neighbor came back and said, no, I don't want that tree removed, you've kind of protected yourself. You have an arborist report, you made the offer to take it down, that neighbor has refused, he didn't want you to take it down, it kind of becomes their responsibility. In my opinion, I'm not an attorney and I'm not giving you legal advice, but I'm just saying it's a good neighbor policy to have an arborist go out and look at this stuff and make sure we're leaving it the best you can.
Hey, Keith. Yeah, this is Dan. I am that neighbor.
Oh, Hey, this is the one you live next to. Sorry,
This
Dan,
is
I'll let
mine.
Daniel can handle this one. Okay, so Daniel happens to live next to you, so go ahead, Daniel.
Yes, unfortunately, those are my biggest trees. I moved to Sudden Valley because I wanted a lot with trees in it. This proposed house is, right up to the edge there, so it would definitely do some damage to these trees. I like the trees. I don't want them to come down. I mean, maybe this house could be moved over a bit, but I measured one of those trees and it's like 11 feet circumference. It's a 200-year-old tree. And I know it's close to a neighbor's property. But one of our missions as a committee is to consider that the houses be built within, consider the area around it. If something could be done to change the design or move the design, I think that should be considered before we consider cutting trees down that have been there for 200 years. I understand some trees are going to come down when we build, and that happens. But I think if we can consider all other options before we do that, your neighbor would really appreciate that.
Yeah, so like Daniel, you're saying like, why not position that house more in tune in the center of the lot, switch it, kind of rotate a little bit on that curvature of the street, move that driveway down from your what would I guess be your property line right there.
Yeah.
So you're living lot 64 is where you're at.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so then that property line right there, so move that down and get like 8 feet, 10 feet off that property line instead of the 5 feet. You could even do more. You could even, like, if you just centered the house up in the lot, is that possible?
Yeah, I think then there would be, you could avoid damaging. There
At
are
least
three trees that are really close to that. The one in particular is the one that is huge that I really don't want damaged. That's the one that's right at the corner of the house, I believe. Yeah, I don't think it's not one of those.
There's two perspectives here. Here's tree 1 and 2.
Probably that one.
Here's tree 1.
Yeah, that one is 11 feet in circumference.
Mm-hmm. So those are the two big ones there. Here's the property line. It's got flagging on it coming down here. Here's where the eaves will be on the house.
And I understand how Keith introduced this and how generally builders work with neighbors. But I think that the first consideration would be to do what you can to work within the environment that you're building in. So moving the house over to avoid any kind of damage to these trees would be appreciated.
Right. I think the reason for why it was set there was because of the big elevation change on the left side. So it was just more flatter to the right of the lot.
Mm-hmm.
That way it would be less, less digging up and less disruption on the other side. But yeah.
Any other comments? Rich, Patrick, Eugene?
I would just add, is there a reason we can't shift the house over a little bit? Because it looks like there's 15 feet on one side and only 7 on the other, or 6 on the other. Is there anything like within the grade or something that's preventing the house from being shifted over just a bit?
I personally don't exactly know. That's something I'd have to talk to Colin Fuller, or the guy that the engineer, the designer, and see on that situation.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not and don't get me wrong, I just think if it's not a huge inconvenience to just move it over a couple of feet and it would protect the roots of those trees, and then we probably wouldn't have an issue with the trees at all.
Mhm.
I think it looks like a nice house.
That would be my understanding, and any compromise we come to within this whole exchange. I would like to know that you made an effort to, say, leave my property as it is. So I would like to at least see some sort of report that says, a real compelling reason why you couldn't move it over. Because I know you prefer it here. I would prefer my trees. So we're going to compromise here somehow, but I would like to see what sort of compromise that you can come up with as far as the location of the excavation that would be required for this.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to just talk to the designer and kind of go over with him and see if there is something we can do.
Okay.
And how much of redesigning there would need to be. Hopefully, I can still
Right.
just design the site plan above and just to have it moved over instead of re-engineering everything.
Yeah. Just take your house and shift it more toward the center of the lot as far as you can, I think would be ideal for everyone concerned. And then, so David, at this time, I'm recommending that we would not approve your project. And Joel, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want your window of opportunity to start, right? So if we do approve it, unless you want us to, like if we're gonna head that way, to approve it pending the arborist report and pending, we would just be basically approving your house design, colors, that type of thing. We're not approving the location that it's going in. Or right now, we just would defer the project till you get back with your arborist and your geologist or whatever and determine on where your engineer and how far you can move the house over.
Well, for me, I don't know what's easier, and what would make the process, go quicker the next time instead of, I don't know if I'd have to
No,
do
it
the
wouldn't
meeting
change
again or.
Yeah, it wouldn't change for us. I don't think you would come back with a different site plan. It's gonna be the same house, and as long as we didn't, apparently, we could talk about it more, have issues with colors and whatnot. And your house design itself, the only issue was the lighting, retaining wall, maybe finish. In the back, but I wanted to find out what that's gonna be. And then everything would stay the same. So if your house didn't change, we would just come back and say, oh, the site looks great. We appreciate your efforts. And if everybody's in agreement, then that would be fine. There'd be no further issues with your home.
Yeah, I like the house and the design and the colors that you chose. I just had that one issue. One other thing that I would like to bring up is that directly across from this house is a family with 2 children at this point, this is a pretty quiet road and it's pretty safe, and the kids are sometimes right down there, and they have a pretty steep driveway that kind of goes down, would go directly into this driveway, or close to it. So I would be concerned about any construction vehicles there. Sometimes it's actually on a curve there, and people sometimes speed up there. And generally they know there's nobody there because they can see there's no cars, nothing. Any safety recommendations for these kids that sometimes play right there in the street? And that's, I'm not sure we need to put anything in writing for that, but it's a consideration that they are always there. It's a quiet street. I want to make sure that there is some, consideration for their safety.
Okay, so construction parking. Okay, and absolutely that could be a comment, Daniel. So construction parking, because that's actually going to be an issue anyways. Where's your construction going to park? You're going to show us probably on your next site plan. We'll come back now that we made a comment on that. You'll show us your construction parking, where that's going to happen. And then we're going to, or the motion on the, we haven't had a motion yet, but right now I'm making the comments. The construction parking is an issue and safety concern for children. For the kids, and then most likely defer the project until you come back with your engineer, project engineer, either a letter, or he's going to say, yeah, we could shift you over 5 feet, and you know what, we can avoid those trees altogether. So which would be ideal for everyone, right? And then see, any other comments I had? So I had another issue with kind of the same thing. You got some dead trees like on the back of your property now. So I don't know how you handle that normally. Like I say, I prefer an arborist report. If an arborist went out there, he'd tell you right away, you need to remove these trees, or those trees are, fine, or putting this retaining wall in, you're gonna, I don't know, take the tree down. So it's just, there was a couple in the back. And it looks like there was gonna be right about where that retaining wall is going, I think. Yeah, Joel's got one there. I don't know how far it is from the retaining wall. It just was an issue. And then the ones in the front, let's see, and that was it. So trees, swale. I wrote something about a swale in the driveway.
Yeah, so we need to see a strip drain or a swale across the driveway to put stormwater into the.
Oh, he's got one in there? Okay.
Yeah,
No, he
well,
got a
we're-
12-inch culvert.
Yeah,
Up the driveway.
he's
I
got-
believe on one of the plans, I made it said a drip or the drain, and it connects to the.
Yeah, I
Yep.
see that.
Yeah, it looks kind of drawn in there, but so yeah, you'll want to have, so this is this SD, that's your culvert, but you'll need to have a strip drain or a swale somewhere in your driveway down here that collects that rainwater and pipes it into the stormwater system.
Yeah, because we don't want it running back out into the street or anything.
Right. Yeah. That's what I thought, that SD was the strip drain. So that's why I thought that's what that stood for.
I think it's just for the general stormwater drain, but that's showing that's your culvert. It's showing, slope your driveway to the drain to the yard catch basin. But if your driveway is, which it just needs to make sure you get it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I do know that that area does flood a bit in the spring and winter. So just be careful about that.
All right, Joel, you want to go over your check sheet then? Make sure we got everything else covered on this. And guys, if you have any comments along the road here, make sure to yell them out.
Yep, we're good on lot coverage, 23%, open space, 70%. He's got good lot coverage. Height is 17.5 feet. Driveway slope is 12.3%. So half a maximum. I don't have any other issues with this.
Yeah, everything else
I
looked
found
good to me
they've come
too.
back with some revisions. I think there was is it in the landscape plan here?
Oh, quick question. What's that retaining
Yeah.
wall going to be in the back?
How high?
It's a block, says tall block.
Yeah, so 4 feet is the,
So what is that? Ecology?
gonna be the maximum.
Economy blocks, or what is he putting?
yeah, probably those, not the ecology blocks, but the Allen blocks, right?
That's what we want.
Yeah, that's what I was planning with. Just
I
the
think it's
retaining wall
fine.
blocks.
Then you're writing NA on the front. I thought it said NA or something.
And then I had to make a revision for the front there.
Oh, no, you got it on there.
Which was also the same blocks.
You got it, man. It's on there. My bad. Yep, you're good. I like it. I'm good on that. Okay, go ahead, Joel. Sorry.
Oh yeah, and then what else? Am I missing I think there was a need for, a potential need for a retaining wall on the front here. Did I not have that on this plan set?
Yeah, and that's something that, like, it could be during the construction, you'll find out you may need that retaining wall. Anywhere there's a slope 2 to 1, we're gonna require a retaining wall to put in there, something for erosion control.
I
So-
believe I drew it in on the landscape plan. It was like a 4 foot to the
In the
slab.
front?
I think I got the older files here. Here we go.
I don't see it.
Because of the left side of the house kind of had a lower grade, and I was planning to do a retaining wall there from 4 feet, basically from 4 feet to 0.
Yeah, I don't see it on there. Was it there? Maybe I just missed it.
I had asked for it, and I think
But
it's
as long as you know, yeah.
on your plans. Yeah, so it comes out here. The garage elevation's at 480, and if that elevation just continues over here to the left to these steps, then it's gonna start dropping off And then in the front of the yard, at those steps, we're at 470. Right around. Where is it at here?
Yeah.
You know, this is our 470 line.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So if we're going 480 from the garage slab over here to 470, we've got a difference of 10 feet. And I said, well, you may want to need some sort of a landscape retaining wall coming down here to landscape that, or to retain that walkway.
Yep. Yep. Very good. Very
I
good.
thought I got back new plans, but I'm not finding them right now.
Yeah, that's kind of how I drew it in, the way you just marked it. Basically a retaining wall, kind of like that.
There it is. Yeah.
So
Here,
Joel, with
let's
this
do that right
design, is there a footing all the way around into the garage area too, or is it just the house?
Yeah, it's probably a footing all the way back
Okay.
from the garage back.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be for the garage too.
So what does that mean? Proposed house garage slab?
So that's the elevation of where the slab of the inside the garage. So they'll pour a footing around the garage to support the walls, and then they'll go inside and they'll lay a flat concrete slab for cars to park on. And so it's that elevation where that slab is at.
Okay.
And that's helpful. From there, we can measure things like the height of the house, but there usually is a footing along the outside. And I would have that in the full plan set too. I could show you that.
All right, guys, because we got a lot. You're going to keep moving. So are you guys good with us deferring this project? Right, this is going to help the builder. Otherwise, we approve it now as in concept, basically, because we're not going to approve this location currently. We'd like to see a really good faith effort in that house being relocated on that lot. So we defer it with the comments right now, and the comments are only for the builder's benefit, so we can work on these as well. Construction parking issues, so we're going to want to see a site plan that's showing the construction parking location and when the safety concerns for just the street in general, but kids in that area. Deferring the project till we get a letter from the engineer, or the engineer comes back and says, yep, we moved it over 7-8 feet. This is perfect. It's not a problem. You got to build that retaining wall in the front anyway, so it probably will not be an issue, because that's the only issue I could see why is you're going to have a retaining wall if we move it over. I know that, and you're already building one, so I don't think it's going to be an issue. And then I want the retaining wall shown on the front of the plans as well. And what the material will be. I assume it'll be the Allen block as well, but we want to just verify that and make sure. And then other than that, that would be my comments. Guys, do you have any additional comments on that?
Did you include arborist report?
Say that again?
Were you going to include an arborist report on those trees?
Did not have that on here.
Yeah, that's something I could definitely do. Try to get someone out there and make the process easier. And
yeah, it makes it much easier for you and for us. And okay, and arborist report, that'll be the fourth comment on there.
Keith, to clarify, saying retaining wall in the front of the plans, you mean on the site plan in the front?
Yes. Yeah, I'd like to see it on the, I'd like to see it on the site plan. It could be on the landscape plan too, I guess, but the site plan showing the other one, so it should be on there. But it also may be one that's going to be unknown at this time, right? He's going to get done with construction, we're going to need to put one, or find out as he's doing it. So either way, I just would like to see it, that we know one will be there, that it's been thought about, and that 90% chance is going to be required. Will be fine with me. The arborist reports for sure.
Yeah.
We also want to clarify what the front retaining wall is going to be. Assume it'll be Allen block. It's going to match the back. I don't know that. And then the parking. You got everything else, Joel? So
Yeah.
on parking, offsite
Contractor
parking,
arborist report, retaining wall, on-site plan and material.
Yep.
Okay, and I'll follow up with Diane's notes too.
Okay. All right, so I'll make that motion to defer the project with those comments. Can I get a second?
Second.
So that's Keith, Patrick. All in favor?
Aye.
Joe Jean?
I'm in favor.
Okay, that's unanimous then. Okay, so thank you for your time, David. Hope that helps and let me know if you need anything.
Thank you, David.
All right, yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, have
Okay,
a good
that
one.
one, I'm sorry, what project was that one again? Oh, that's my minutes. That's, I can't find it. What project was that?
19,
What is it?
item 19.
19, there we go. Thank you, 19. Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
Keith,
Yes, go ahead.
the person named Paul that's there is here regarding item 25 and 26, 8 and 10 Thunder Peak. I didn't know if we might want to go ahead and do that so they can leave.
Thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. Joel, is that okay if you go? Those are yours too, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
Yep.
is it okay to go to those?
sure.
Okay. So Thunder Peak. Thunder Peak, that's items 25 and 26. Okay, 25 and 26. Is this really windy street? Yes, okay, so a couple issues for me on this one, and I'm just gonna do mine real quick. So I have in your retaining walls, we're gonna be required on any slopes greater than 2-to-1. So you have like a very unique area that these homes are going in. And I mean by unique area, I'm surprised you even can build in this area. I also had a question with your valuation of the structure. You have $250,000, which is amazing. I'd like you to build me a house for $250,000. So I was really amazed at that. But not that that's my issue, but yeah, I'm concerned about erosion issues with both of these lots, man. It's like a really tough area for both of them. So I'm concerned about parking, I'm concerned about erosion control, concerned about how you're going to build these, where you're going to have materials, how you're even going to stage these things are going to be interesting. Guys, you have any other questions?
That was pretty much what my concerns were too.
Yeah, this is I don't know, man. I know they build, like, I've done a lot of stuff. I see Mulholland Drive, right? Houses up there in Hollywood hanging off the sides of hills, but man, this one's a tough one, even by that stretch. So I'll let you go ahead, Joel, and take us through your project.
Sure. Let's see. I've got my report. I reached out, asked for revisions, and got a reply from the designer on this one. John Gordon's also here for this project. We can bring him in. He was the one who did the submittal, and he's working for this.
Yay.
I did ask for the possible need for retaining wall in the front corner, extending down the left side of the driveway. I think they added that on the site plan. And then I said, the location of the left rear corner here. Grab.
Paul's got his hand raised.
You know, this 18-inch maple may need to be removed, as if this is going to be graded in the back, because it's showing an existing grade of 640 here. But then the rear left corner of the home is going to be regraded to 636 feet. So then they're going to have a 4-foot difference, and they may need to remove this 18-inch maple. And they come back and said it may or may not affect the maple. So I don't know, I don't get a definitive answer on it. And then do we want to address these one thing at a time, or do you want to go through some?
No, go ahead. Just go ahead. You're fine.
Yeah. And then there is on the elevations page, there's a I called it a pergola and I was corrected that it's an open air trellis on the front of the home here.
Yeah.
Right here, and it does extend into the 20-foot setback. Now, Sun Valley measured setbacks to the eaves, and my pin's not working quite right there. But you're right, it's not clearly defined on other projections, like a trellis. So I was going to leave that up to you and your discussion.
Yeah, I'm so for me on a trellis thing like that, I saw that and I didn't have an issue with it myself because we do allow you know, like a porch or a deck, you know, we've allowed that. You know, the garage typically has to be the house, everything else has to be 20 feet back. And in most cases, we do that and then some, but I have seen on several of them where the decks, you know, like a entry to your house or whatever, that is up in front of that 20 feet, you know, so. I have seen that, and this being up in the air like that didn't really bother me. Again, just my opinion.
Yeah, it's not structural.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought I'd bring it to your attention.
Yep. No, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Keith? Paul's got his hand raised for the question.
Yes, go ahead. Who does?
Paul?
Oh, thank you. I can't see hands here. Go
Oh.
ahead, Paul. He does. Let's see. Paul, I see you. I don't see a hand up. Maybe he took it down. And he's muted. Okay, go ahead, Joel. Paul can chime in. Paul, you're muted if you wanted to speak. Unmute and let us know what you're here for. But go ahead.
We're
Joel.
actually just trying to watch. We don't have anything to say. We probably mashed the wrong button.
Oh, okay. No worries. No worries. Hey,
Yeah,
thanks.
we're next door to these Thunder Peak properties and just wanted to watch.
Okay. All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Joel. Don't forget to mute
yeah.
your guys back, Paul. Make sure you put it back on mute.
Okay.
But the house, the profile of the foundation is graded, is step foundation up the side of the hill. So there probably won't need to be a need for a retaining wall at the back of the home. If there is, it'll probably be maybe a short block wall. Probably no more than 4 feet. That's let's see, and that's a minor thing, right? An adjacent home at 23 Jasper Ridge, which is not shown on the adjacent plans. Right, it's a lot 154, kind of back behind the house, but it's up the hill. It's up the hill a ways.
Yeah, up is right. That goes down quite a bit. Out of curiosity, and I know it's not part of our thing. So one of the big things I was worried about was water runoff, right? Because this almost looks like a natural area that collects a ton of water from up above and both these lots, like right in the middle of these lots. And so now I'm worried they're going to develop these two lots. We no longer have the capacity to retain that water onto these lots anymore. So now it's going to run off onto the road. And I'm wondering, there's culverts or anything, has that been looked at, designed accordingly, taken in consideration the additional amount of runoff we're going to get now and collecting stormwater from these houses and dumping it down there? I'm concerned about that because this is like I don't know, a bad area to be building and messing with. Ecologically, to me, if I'm thinking about the correct lots. You have a picture of the lots, Joel?
Yeah.
If I'm thinking
it is that's a big question that have to be left up to a stormwater engineer.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I just want to make sure it gets looked at.
Yeah. Well, we will make sure all the culverts in place and the stormwater is connected, all the gutters and downspouts go into this storm. And what county is they're inspecting the stormwater system? I'm inspecting to make sure gutters and downspouts are actually connected, and that a strip drain and culverts in the driveway or a driveway swale
Yeah, and I'm taking it like a step further, trying to think of the how, I get that, but I just don't know that what's there now would handle this. To me, it's gonna be like additional water that's gonna be slushing through the system that wasn't there before.
Keith, my neighbor has a similar sort of terrain, and he is always dealing with water issues coming into his crawl space. So it's a very valid concern.
Yeah, that's something that the builder would have to
Yeah,
be sure. And I think county does check, curtain drains.
that's his name, yeah. He'll look at it.
Yeah, for that's outside the scope of my work in Sudden Valley.
I know, and ours too, really, but I mean, just as a builder and myself going through there, I'm like, wow, I'd be concerned if I was a builder that I'd want to take care of that, or at least have it looked into.
Oh, there were a cluster of 3 cedar trees that were ribboned here that weren't accurately shown on the site plan, but I think that, based on the location of the corners of the house, they will need to be, they're appropriately ribboned and need to be removed. They weren't shown on the plans.
Well, and the guys, those are the ones to the right or the left?
Yeah, these 3 here and the pink with the pink ribbon.
Yeah.
So those on the site plans are approximately, where are they at here?
It should be over here.
Yeah, they're approximately right in here.
Yeah, I don't even see them.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're-
that's what you're saying. They're not on the site plan.
We're not on the site
Okay.
plan, but they were ribboned there on the site. And John Gordon brought that up too in our application meeting. But I do have other photos of the site if you care to see.
Also, if those are on the site, has the county approved it without that on the actual map?
I don't know if John might be able to chime in here. I think these are county. My conversation with him, he told me that county's pretty backed up right now, and they may not have. I don't think they've reviewed this yet. Is that right, John?
I think 8's gone through. I think they're still working on structural for 10. Do you happen to have the canopy or survey?
Look at that lot.
Here's a survey.
Oh yeah, I remember now. They
here
they ribboned those trees because they needed to come out for whatever reason, and yeah, they weren't showing up. That's right.
All right, so my first note now is arborist report needed.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that when we consider the canopy percentage, it's an accurate number.
Yes, and this is one of those other ones. We're gonna have 2 lots next to each other, and I believe there were like 11 trees coming out on this one. And when you got these 2 together like that, it's gonna seem to everybody like we're clear cutting. So that one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then those other 3, 9 alone on this one that they're recommending. Doesn't mean we're agreeing with all of it, but it's too much. But go ahead with your lot coverage and everything else you were going with, Joel.
Yeah, everything else. Lot coverage is good. 19% open space, 72. Height is 10 feet from the back, so we're not anywhere near there. Driveway is 5%, so we're not I think meeting all those ACC policies are we're not close to any maximums. So I don't have any other issues other than how do you feel about the trellis? And the maple in the back may need to come out.
I'm more like the maple I didn't have an issue with. Actually, on my paper I wrote. I more have a problem with the colors. Like Olympic Range is like a black, it looks like, and a pure white trim. So another one of these black and white.
Yeah, these are pre-approved colors.
I didn't say it was good. I just said I got a problem with the black and white. It's a dark green. Yeah, it's gonna be dark, all right. A retaining wall. I got a feeling they're gonna end up needing one, but I could be wrong too. A lot of rock there. It's an interesting site, that's for sure. I wouldn't want to be building on either 8 or 10.
Well, they got a retaining wall against the driveway. But I think with the step foundation moving up the hill, they won't have the need for.
You think they'll be fine?
retaining wall. If they do, it would be probably really short, just around the back.
Minimum, yeah. Okay. All right, so guys, any other questions or comments that the ACC has?
I don't have anything.
So are we asking for Arborist report on this or not?
Yes.
Okay.
At least I am. That's just how I would put it forward, that an arborist report is going to be required.
Yeah, I like that.
Rich, Patrick, anything else? Joe Jean?
I have no questions. Rich left the meeting.
Oh. Okay. Thank you for that. Patrick, anything?
No.
I
Okay.
have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
What is the purpose of the arborist report?
Well, you're asking to take down 3 additional trees that you're saying might be somehow impacted by this construction. Is that not true?
So you want to know if they're healthy?
I want to know what the arborist says. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know why they need to come down, and if an arborist agrees that they need to come down.
These 3, right?
Yes, sir.
I think John, you pointed these out in our application meeting, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did, and so the arborist report will probably involve, if this blue stake here and this blue stake to the right, if these are the eaves, and that's going to be the line of excavation. My guess is the roots will be damaged, and that'll be the reasoning. But
Yeah, no, I agree. And then, so were those part of the county, like the canopy? Were they included or no?
Well, they don't show up on the canopy either. So it's hard to answer that question.
That's weird. Yeah, they're not showing up in the canopy. So they got missed altogether. Joel, isn't that something the county is supposed to catch?
I think so.
So in other words, no one would notice them missing if they just disappeared. And that's not good.
I'm remembering them being farther back, but maybe I'm not getting a good idea from the picture of where those are on the lot.
I think they're right around here.
Who flagged those trees?
The contractor, the builder or owner came out and ribboned them.
Yeah, there's a cedar back here on the adjacent lot 15. Here's our lot line running between those, and on the photo, I think the perspective is you can see here's that. You can see that lot line running across here. Here's that tree on the other side.
Yeah.
So one of these trees, maybe this one or this one is on the tree canopy, and the other 2 are missing.
And sometimes, John, it's good if an arborist report came out there, he might denote a couple other trees that need to come down. He might say, hey, this thing's dead and dying and needs to get out of here at the same time. And that's beneficial, I would think, to any builder or future home builder or owner as well, whoever going to buy this place. But okay, any other questions, comments, or concerns on this one? We got to keep moving.
I have none.
Who had one?
Oh, I don't have any more.
Oh, anybody in the ACC?
No.
Okay, can I get a motion? Or like I said, the motion would be, we could move
I move to approve with the notes for the arborist.
Okay, so that's Daniel. Can I get a second?
Second,
Patrick? All in favor?
I,
all right.
Aye.
Okay, so that is unanimous. I would like to only make the other comment. I really want to make sure that the erosion control is something that's really being looked at here. Strongly urge that to be a consideration. I know, John, you're listening, and I don't know whoever's listening for builders, but to make sure that that is consideration, because I could see this becoming a, we get another flood like we did a couple years ago or last year, whenever it was, the homes downhill from this are the ones that are going to suffer. And so I just got to make sure, you should be making sure, not me, but you should be making sure that that's being accounted for, is runoff, because we're changing seems to me a delicate area. Okay, so that was moved to approve with those comments. And now we're going to be on to item number 26, which is 10 Thunder Peak Way. Same builder?
These were
Well,
submitted under
brothers.
2 different builders. Is that right, John?
Well,
Yeah, they're brothers.
they're brothers. Yeah, it's the same builder. But go ahead. Yep. Okay, we're on 10 Thunder Peak now. Item number 26. Another $250,000 valuation. You two guys got to come build a house for me for $250,000. I'd love it.
I think that's intended to be just the cost, not
Yep.
what they're gonna sell it for.
No, I know. They could build me one for 250. I'm all over it, man. That's great.
Okay.
Again, I'm not a fan of the paint colors on this. We have especially they're going to be right next to each other. We're going to have a black house and a white house. Now we're going to have a navy blue house and a white house. It's going to be too dark, too close. So one of them are going to need to change a little bit or figure out, something to do. I can't imagine having 2 black houses, or you guys tell me, committee wise, black and navy blue next to each other. Maybe it looks fine. I have no idea, but that was a concern I had. And I think the only other issues I had on this one, again, possible retaining wall is going to be needed. And the erosion issues here with both these houses being developed, we're taking a bunch of trees out, putting in 2 houses. You're going to have water just hitting rooftops and now running off, not soaking into the dirt anymore. It's just going to run off. It's going to hit the driveway. It's going to hit those roads and culverts really fast. And I'm just concerned about that. Go ahead, Joel. I'll let you take it now.
Yeah, so same with, I think we're waiting on some updated plans for this one still that show some of the changes. But let's see, I've got, I made the comments that the existing grade at the edge of the concrete slab patio at the rear of the home is at 620 feet, but the proposed finished grade indicated at the rear of the home is 611. So there's a 9-foot vertical difference. So a retaining wall in this area may need to be proposed. The designer says the backyard will be graded so that no retaining walls will be needed.
Oh, interesting. Sorry, I never read that, Joel. Let me read what you
Yeah,
wrote.
so we're at the back of the house here. Let me change my pen.
So you're saying they won't need one back there?
No, I said they may need one.
Oh, they may need one. Okay.
So our edge of this is supposed to be a concrete patio, right? The existing grade here is at 620 feet.
Oh, yeah.
And the proposed finished grade here of that patio and the back on the elevations page is saying it's going to be at 611.
9 feet difference.
So there's a 9-foot difference here. That's exaggerated. This is not to scale, but there's going to be a 9-foot difference from the edge of this patio right here to where the existing grade is. And so I said, well, you may need a retaining wall back here. They say they're just gonna regrade the whole thing somehow.
That possible?
That can't work like that.
It's a good question.
That's not gonna work like that.
That's why I recommended the retaining, proposing a retaining wall. John, can you speak to that?
I'm just
What are your
looking
thoughts?
at, it looks like they've got both finished and natural shown there. In which case the natural is not far from 611.
Yeah.
Right. But so if this is the finished grade line here that I'm drawing in.
No, the finished would be dark, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And so
Yeah.
it goes up above. Is that, I don't know the scale, is that 9 feet or is it?
Yeah, so they're saying that this elevation, this finished grade elevation at this slab is 611.
Yeah.
The site plan shows the existing grade at 620 at that same location. So there's a 9-foot difference there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to reconcile what you're saying with the drawing of the existing grade on the elevation. Is that inaccurate, or is the scale such that?
Yeah, this is a 1-inch 10-foot scale. No, sorry, quarter inch is
Is a foot.
quarter inch is a foot.
So back 10 feet away, he's got a mark there where he's 11.6 from the roof. Do we have an idea what that elevation is according to those dimensions?
It takes some figuring out.
Well, let's say even if it was 6 feet and it's not 9 feet, it still would require a retaining wall. Even if it was 5 feet and not, and not 10 feet or 9 feet, it's still gonna require a retaining wall. Something's gotta be back there. You can't have it just sloping, running right onto your patio and into your house. Something's gotta be put back there. So right now I'm having, I didn't see exterior lighting either on any of this. Like on the plan of the house. Like there was, I mean, they show it like a lighting sample, but I didn't see locations. And it might be on your plans, Joel. Like I said, I didn't go to the office this time to get a look.
I asked for them to be added on the plans, and they say it were added. Maybe I'm looking at a different plan set here, but
Yeah, I thought I sent you an update.
Yeah, she said she can. I hope so. Okay, enrichment. Well, enrich.
Retaining walls required. Please show on plans is my note.
Your daughter's just coming to bring her to us.
On plans.
I just got up to look for you guys and look at the first one downstairs.
Guys, do you have any other comments, questions, concerns?
I'm ready to take it out. Right there. I gotta have something to eat.
Just the retaining wall and the drainage. You guys know better than I do if this is all gonna work, but that's what stood out to me.
Yeah, drainage issue, drainage. And that's something, their geologists and engineers will have to work on, but it is a concern that we should have as Sudden Valley is. Just
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you can leave a homeowner with a problem that we missed or the architects missed. I don't know, but it seems like a red flag.
And then Joel, how are we on tree removal on this one?
There was one cedar tree ribbon for removal that I saw on site, but it wasn't proposed for removal on the tree canopy plan. I believe it was, and this is something that we'll have to amend, but I believe it's this tree right here, this 24-inch. I believe it's cedar. Let me pull up these picture photos.
How? Wow. So how far is like that tree off that back patio?
Which
Well,
one?
See the concrete patio in the back on the left? No, the one
This
up there with the red X going through it. Is that the house plan? See it in the landscape area? In the green area?
Yeah, am I missing one?
It's got the red X
Next through it. This one?
Yeah.
That back patio, yeah.
How far off that house is it? How big was that patio? I can't
Oh,
see on my
I
plan.
think it's what do I have here on the patios? 7 feet, 8 feet, I think, to the house, but 7 feet from the eaves.
So they want to remove that tree, basically just put a patio there. Because the elevation changes downhill. So you're going down. So that tree is retaining that slope. Part of that slope, right? Because that's at the 620 line, and then the house is 611. So that patio is at 611 elevation. So they have to remove that tree just because they're digging down for that. And then they're going to need to put a retaining wall back there anyway. So that tree does going to have to come out.
Yeah, so this 24-inch, it looks like maybe it's a cedar on the photo, but I believe it's this tree. I believe it's this tree here. That looked like it was ribbon and maybe didn't need to be ribboned. It's not being proposed for removal.
But that's goes back to like John, an arborist report. If you have an arborist guy, you might go out there and go, this tree needs to come down, leaving this tree all by its own and taking these others out. This tree is going to become a hazard tree. I mean, that's why those guys are, in my opinion, good at what they do. They see things I would never think of. So. Okay, any other questions, comments, concerns on this, guys? I'm taking that as a no. So the only one I had on here is because I can't see it and I didn't go into the office. I admit that again. The exterior lighting, I couldn't see where it's going to be on the plans. I did see what it's going to look like, and I have no problem with that. In my opinion, retaining walls have no choice. They're going to be required probably on both of these projects, but maybe more on this one than the other one. And I didn't see that on the plan, so I want that on the plans. And I'm very concerned about drainage issues. So I just want to make sure that the drainage issues are concerned on both of these. I know they're brothers and all that. To me, it's one builder than it is really. So I just want to make sure that that's being taken in consideration by both of those home builders. Anybody else have any other questions, comments, or concerns they'd like to add?
No.
Okay, can I get a motion?
What is the motion, Keith?
The motion would be on this one would be to approve. We'd move to approve with the understanding that we want to see the exterior lights added to the plans. We want to see the retaining walls added to the plans. And we want to make sure that the drainage issues have been concerned, drainage and erosion control.
So would we need to see that on the plans too?
Well, not
How would that
necessarily.
look? What would that look like?
Yeah, you're not necessarily going to see that. We just want to make sure that we are reiterating the fact that this is like in an ecological safe area that we don't want immensely disturbed. It's already going to be greatly disturbed with 2 houses there and then 20 trees that are coming out. I just want it addressed, and it has to be addressed, like Joel said, through the county. The county looks at all that stuff, but who's looking at it for Sudden Valley as when, and maybe the county does, and maybe Joel might know better, but you have all this new drainage that's gonna be an issue now, because like I said, it's basically collecting in a bowl there, and yeah, some of it runs out as the bowl fills up, it runs over the top and down the street and into the culvert. But now we're creating 10 times that amount of rainwater rushing all at once, and can the culverts and drains up in that area support the extra water? And I'm not an engineer, so I couldn't tell you how many gallons how they figure that out. I don't know. I just want to make sure it's been accounted for. Because everything's downhill from these people, so. That's all. I don't know, Joel, what would that look like? Do you know?
I don't know. I mean, I usually defer to the stormwater engineer plans.
Yeah, that's
And-
exactly all you're gonna see. It's basically a piece of paper saying, yes.
And the details on the details for the plan set, showing things like curtain drains, but I don't verify or inspect any of those. And Sun Valley only wants to ensure that gutters and downspouts are connected.
Yeah.
They're no longer doing the stormwater design, but I also look for strict rain or a swale, controlling the water from the driveway, make sure that goes into that those are existing during the driveway inspection.
Which actually brings up an issue. What is that driveway doing on this one?
Oh, yeah, we are at I think the maximum driveway slope,
Yeah.
25%. Let's hop over there.
Yeah, that driveway is like steep.
Mhm. So 14 degrees is 25%. That's our maximum.
Man, and one mistake with that, then you're over the 25. 594. Are we needing a swale on this one too?
They've got a trench drain shown.
Oh, they do. Okay, I see.
That'll feed into the
Okay.
stormwater system.
Yeah. Yep, that'll work. Okay, guys, any other comments, questions? Anything you need to see in here?
I think you covered it for me.
Okay, can I get a motion?
I move to approve with those notes that you just read out on our concerns.
Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any objections? No. Okay, all in favor? I guess I could just ask it that way. Is Joe Jean still with us?
Aye.
Oh, she is. Okay. I can't see it. Okay, that's unanimous.
I have a question, Keith.
Yes, sir.
Is this considered a conditional approval? What do you require from the builders to get this?
We're gonna require an exterior, show us on the plans where the exterior lights are gonna be added, and Joel thinks he may have that, or at least you think you've sent that to Joel, so apparently it's been considered. And right now, I'm assuming in all the normal locations, the right and left-hand side of the garage door, porch light, and on the rear porch, but there might be additional ones. The retaining walls need to be shown on the plans. There's none currently shown. There are gonna be required, you could see that, and even if they. And John, so some of those, a retaining wall could be developed as you're doing the site, and all of a sudden you realize, we're gonna need a retaining wall here. It's not what we planned on, and we got a couple extra feet we're gonna have to deal with. So at least I understand it may not be perfectly placed on the site plan, but at least you're gonna show a general location where you think that retaining wall is gonna be needed. And then the last one on this one, so the other one had a few more. This one had, again, just drainage issues. I'm greatly concerned about the amount of water runoff we're gonna have for the culverts and streets and so forth, and just make sure that's all taken into consideration. And that was it on that. So it will be approved with those conditions, John.
So how do we my question is how we satisfy the conditions. Does it go before the committee again? Is this something worked out with Joel?
Yes, yeah, you're gonna work it out with Joel.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
You do want to see a retaining wall at the rear?
Say that again, Joel?
You do want to see a retaining wall at the rear of the home, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
the retaining wall, yes. Okay. All right, so that's it on that one, 10 Thunder, so that has been approved. Uh-oh.
Keith?
Yep, go ahead, Diane.
Yeah, we've got people waiting for items 23 and 24, 103 and 105 Sudden Valley.
Okay, hang on a sec. Let me just get my notes here. 10 Thunderwood. Okay, item 26. Okay. What was that, Joanne? Or excuse me, Diane?
Item 23 and 24, which are 103 and 105 Sudden Valley new construction.
Oh, also new construction. All right, those, yeah, Joel. All right. Okay, so that's 10. All right, Joel, what do you want to do next? You heard Diane, but you pick who we're doing next. They're your jobs.
Well, let's see. We've got we could do, well, John's here for a couple others too. John Gordon's here for 4 Twin Flower, which is a new construction, 18 Rose Ridge Loop and 28 Hillside, which are changes.
And John's here for those. All right, let's do Twin Flower then real quick if we can. Does that sound all right with you? Then we can get John out, right? Finish John up.
And then I've got where's
all right, item number 28. 4 Twin Flower.
Yep. So this was another one that was approved 2 years ago and then got reapproval last year, but it's they weren't able to build both years. So now I had to do submit as a whole new construction application.
Yeah, you know, I'm in the middle of a ACC meeting right now.
Okay, so Diane, so, and this is when I'm gonna ask, Diane, I want to make sure, so when these people resubmitted, maybe Joel, you'll know right off the bat, they did pay the resubmittal fee?
All right.
Yes.
Prepaid the 35?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to make sure that. All right, so that's done, and then it'd be nice if we had a spot on our forms, Diane, that said spec home. Right, because we have like permanent resident, vacation, weekend, and a rental, but there's nothing about a spec home. A lot of these builders are just building spec houses. So that's a simple box to check. Yes, it's spec home. And that's something we can do later. So lighting on this one, I had an issue with the lighting. So the problem I have, so we're supposed to have frosted bulbs, right? And then I've seen these coming across now with LEDs. Well, LEDs aren't frosted. I maybe can get them frosted. I don't know, but they're just LEDs. And depending on elevation where that thing sits at, that could be very bothersome to some people. You know, LED lights are very bright, especially when they're pointing right at you.
Yeah, my neighbor has those and they point right into my room and they are very bright. It's like a laser.
And so I have the same thing. The lady has landscaping, a beautiful house, beautiful landscaping, but she has LED lights that shoot upwards. And man, my ceiling in my bedroom window at night looks like a show. It's just, and her house is, I don't know, 100 feet, at least 200 feet from me. So it's amazing how bright those LEDs can be, you know, unintentional. And it does look like a laser. So I'm concerned about just approving something like that where the whole bottom is open. I don't know what they look like. So what the bottom of that looks like. So I'm concerned. It doesn't look like you just screw a light bulb in there because it says LED. So I'm assuming they're going to have some 4 LEDs or something in the bottom of that thing. But I would like some more insight on what those things look like. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think this is what they look like.
Yeah, but
not sure where the LED sits. Assuming it's probably built into the maybe built into the fixture.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know how bright they are, you know. Black dark sky LED. This dark sky is a great name. Sounds like they're trying to project it down and keep the sky dark above, right? So they want no overflow of light, which is perfect what we want.
Yeah. They are
Pull
down.
the specifications on that light? Joel?
The specs?
Yes.
Yeah, what do you mean? So, well, they're down.
Maybe it'll tell us more about the.
Like lumens or something?
Oh,
Right.
lumens? I don't know about that. We'd have to look it up. But you know, it does appear, I mean, it is downward directed.
Yeah, they're down directed. Where are they going on the house?
That's one of the things that I think we've asked the builder, and they it's not. Let me see. I don't think it's been clarified yet. I think I had that in my report. We don't know exactly where they're going.
See, that's why one house seems like a lot, because you last three of them the same thing. Oh, the locations of the lighting doesn't show on the plans. That's odd. Must be the same designer. Or you think, right? You're going, oh, this is another one of those. Okay, so
Another point on the lighting is this is a very tall house, and it looks like it's right at the limit. So lighting, even if it is pointing down, an LED may affect a neighbor. That's one of the issues with hitting the limits of the height requirements.
yes. Yeah, I agree. And we didn't come across the lighting that's in the soffits yet, right? That's going to be on probably 103 and 105. That's another issue. They're putting the can lights in the soffits now, but we'll get to that one when we get to it. So a couple things I had on here, curves on the driveway. I'm sure are they in there? They are not in there. The driveway is not flared out. Tree replanting for the trees being removed for the retaining wall. I put that as a question mark.
Yeah, this one was originally, when this one came up, I think it was originally deferred, and they had to come back and move the house back some. And I don't have the minutes from I don't think I can find the minutes from that meeting, but things like the curvature of the driveway, you know, that would be inspected during the driveway inspection and make sure that's done.
Okay. So Joel, you'll check.
Yeah,
Well, because the houses across the street, none of them have it there on that street. That's why I was wondering if they didn't, because that there's like 4 or 5 of them right there don't have it for some reason. Okay.
This one will.
Drainage swale, 20 feet. Okay, that was good. So what did I say updated? Okay, they haven't been updated. So I was like, that's all I had was curves on driveway and tree planting for the trees being removed for the retaining wall. Let's look at that retaining wall in the back real quick. So why are we moving that 18-inch tree? Right, just because it's a fir and it's next to a 19-inch. Maybe it's dead, I don't know. I think there was more trees. Maybe they were on the plan or something, because I just made a note. I don't know why. It just says retaining wall, question mark. Oh, 'cause I'm looking at the landscape plan. It didn't show the retaining wall. Yep, that's right. All right, so yeah. I'm sorry. So on the site plan, yeah, you are showing those trees to be removed where the retaining wall's at. So I was looking at the wrong. Okay. All right. Property coverage is great. Open space, great. Driveway slope, max. No, 14%. Height. Okay, any other questions, comments, or concerns, guys?
I think you'll like this one, Keith. They got the dark color on the body now, or on the trim. And the siding is white.
Yeah, see, what's the deal, man? So we're going peppercorn, tricorn, and navy. Pure white, and alabaster.
It's like a trend.
Okay. And then what's the retaining walls be made out of, Joel? Was it block? It looks like rock.
Rock wall in the back.
So retaining wall sample, is that like a 3-man or what is it? 2-man, 3-man?
Oh boy, does it say on the spec sheet?
It doesn't.
Yeah, it probably doesn't, because I think these retaining walls need to be added after the original. Yeah, so here was their original plan showing, and they didn't have retaining walls in there. All right, this is back to 2021, and then they had to come back, move the house back, build retaining walls. So then they built retaining walls in there. But then the spec sheet, they've got it showing as rock, but they didn't update their spec sheet with it.
Yeah, okay. All right, so the comments on this one were just pretty simple, actually. Going to be light locations, and that they can do through you. And then we're not a light location, and we want clarification on lights. Right, so basically we're not approving that light at this particular time until we get clarification. Does that make sense, or should we just defer it? Maybe defer lighting. That's what we do. Defer the lighting. For exterior lighting. For more information. Because right now, like Daniel said, it's elevation's high on it, right? We don't know where the lighting's gonna go, and we're not familiar with this type of lighting, and it could be annoying as crap, it sounds like, this light. What other comment do we have, guys? Trees, the county will take care of that for the replanting of the trees. They're gonna remove, I didn't see the retaining wall in there, so that'll be taken care of in the county, so that's fine. And then
Driveway curvatures, that'll be inspected for.
yep, and they did pay, so we want to make sure they paid, and Joe verified that, paid the middle. So we don't need to verify that. That's already been verified, so we don't need to do that. Okay, I just have the 2 comments. Anybody else have additional comments?
No,
Okay, can I get a motion on 4 Twin Flower?
Move to approve.
That's Patrick?
Daniel.
Is that to approve or to defer?
Just the lighting. So we're moving to approve the project, but we are not approving the lighting at this time, the exterior lighting only. We're not approving at this time until we get more information.
Okay. I'll second.
Okay, that's Patrick. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. With those comments. Okay,
Clarification,
yep, go ahead.
are they able to start construction?
Sí, senor. I don't see any reason why not. Joel, do you? I mean,
But
Yeah, they've got a year, they can pick out light fixtures, right, and
yeah, light fixtures, yeah.
or propose them and show them to ACC. Say, here's
Yeah,
what-
yeah,
here's
so
what
light
I do.
fixtures aren't a big deal, and the retaining wall, you can just go through Joel on that one. We don't need to see that. Joel
So
knows.
basically, for the deferral on the lighting, they just do a construction change request.
Yep, exactly.
Okay,
Yep. And you know what we're looking for, John, so you can just tell them, and these lights might be okay. I just doubt it, being that they're LED. There's no way to frost them or anything, you know?
well,
Looking for stuff that can't, like you wouldn't want your neighbor's lights, have LEDs that just indiscriminately shine everywhere. They're great lights. I'm not, they save a lot of energy and stuff, but they're hard to direct. So that's all. So we just want to make sure that those are being addressed. Okay. That takes
John's also here.
Item
Item
20.
number-
What's next?
Oh, John's also here for item number 27.
Hey, item 27. This is 18 Rose Ridge Loop. Item 27. This is exterior lights have somewhat different look from the original submitted. That's a change, those lights?
I forgot. Блин, видишь, I'm afraid, что мы сейчас в машину сядем.
You guys have any problems with the lights they put on there?
No, I move to approve.
Patrick, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Okay, that's been approved. Hey, thank you, John. Appreciate your time.
There's one more,
Oh, you have one more?
28 Hillside. Color.
28 Hillside. Okay, let's do that real quick and get Mr. Gordon on his way. 28 Hillside.
Item number 13.
13,
Item 15.
13.
13. Item number 13. Oh, gosh. All right, so the only comment I had on that is, and that's only me, John, is a no on that red. I know it. I've seen it here. I know it's here. Other houses have it. But yeah, that's the only thing I had is no for me on the red. The other colors I liked. I'm fine. But any other comments from anyone else?
Is that an approved color?
No,
Yeah,
that's not an approved color. That's
I'm
why
all for trying new things, but I'm not sure that works.
he's got it on a, they've used that color a couple times here. I'm not sure how. But yeah, it's a no for me, the red. I just can't do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Old.
I feel the same way.
You can take a look at 7 Kinglet, which is pretty similar house and similar color scheme, and get an idea of what it would look like.
I saw it on there. I don't like it there either.
You can learn from their
That's just
mistake.
me.
Yeah.
That's just
No,
my opinion, guys.
I
but-
agree, Keith.
Patrick, Jogene, you have some input on that?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like 4 different colors across the front. You have the red on that little part extending, then you have a light gray on top, and then a darker gray in the
Yes.
floor, and then white across the bottom.
Yeah, it's very boxy looking when they do it like that. And that's like a newer thing. I get it. They've done it. Like I said, I don't know how, but they've done a few of them here that have those colors, and I'm just not a fan of the big boxing it up like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a contrast color, but it might look better to have that where that red is on that box, make that light gray, and then have the rest of it the darker gray, and then the white on the bottom.
Are they,
Yeah.
are they on the approved color list?
No. Negatory.
Maybe we should ask them to paint a sample in each place so we can see it.
Well, like John said, there's a house right down the street that's got those colors on it.
Yeah, I didn't see
And
those.
it's I think it's the same builder, isn't it, John?
Yes, but it's
Yeah.
not down the street. It's up, up at the top of Division 22.
Yeah, so if we want to go look at it, you can drive by and look. So it's a new modern look. So I understand what they're trying to do. It just doesn't fit well here. The red doesn't fit well, and the boxiness, to me, a boxing every.
The red sample is actually darker than what's showing up here on the computer. But that still may not be acceptable to you guys.
Yeah, guys, you gotta, like I said, I've made my decision easy on me. The red doesn't work for me. But that's up to you guys. If you want to go look at that house, you guys certainly can go look at another house. John can get you that address and you guys can go look at it.
Yeah, what's the address for that other house?
Oh, there's a picture of it.
There it is.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah, that looks horrible.
Yeah.
Was that approved?
I don't, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how it could have been. That's a brand new house, and it's actually a nice house, but yeah, it looks horrible. And there's another one similar like this, but narrower. That same thing with different colors like that. I just don't like it.
Kind of looks like Legos.
Well, was this house approved or,
The house was approved, yes.
and the paint colors?
That I couldn't tell you, Jogene.
If this was.
I would think
how
not.
could we not approve the new one?
Say that again?
If the picture on my screen right now, if that house had those colors approved, how can we not approve the colors on item 13?
Because we look at each house and each lot individually. So what might get approved on one doesn't mean it's a carte blanche to get approved somewhere else.
True.
And if that was us looking at that, we would not have approved that anyways.
Then maybe it wasn't approved.
There are
What's
some
that?
other more muted red colors on the list, a brown, a red, which might work as an alternative. John.
Yeah.
So guys, we gotta keep moving. So do you guys want to go look at that? You certainly can. But like I said, for me, the red doesn't fly for me.
It's not flying for me either.
Yeah.
I don't like 4 different colors for the front.
All right, well, there it is. Unanimously, it's denied. All right, so John, we're not in approval with these colors he's recommending here.
Okay, I guess I need some more direction.
Pick different colors.
Well, and we've got a complaint about 4 different colors, even though the white is not very much.
Okay, well then I have no problem with classic French, Moorish room gray, or Maison Blanche, but I don't know where. He would just come back and tell us where those are. And then there's a black one down here, so.
Black is trim.
Color. Yeah, trim color. So, like I said, for me, it's the red. I have an issue with the red. And for Patrick, he has an issue with the red and the fact it's broken up into boxes, like colors, different color boxes on the front of the house. So
Okay.
come up with something different on that.
Okay.
Okay, can I get a motion on this, please?
I move to deny.
Patrick? Can I get a second?
I second.
Deny, and that's Daniel. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, all right. That's item number 13. All right, John, does that take care of you?
That takes care of me. I'm getting
All
out of
right.
here.
Hey, thank you much. I appreciate your time this morning, John.
You bet.
Have a good day.
Hey,
Thank you.
Keith, did we
Yes.
do 23 and 24?
No.
Nope, sorry,
Oh.
but thanks for asking. Okay, let's go on to 25. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Joel, you want to do 23 and 24 now? I believe the attendees are waiting as well.
Yeah, we're almost, these are the last 2, I think. Okay, we got 103 Sun Valley Drive.
All right, 23, 24. All right, so the same thing. We got 2 houses, right? This same builder too, right? Yeah. Vitality. So 23 and 24, 2 houses by Vitality. How are we doing on finishing up? How many open houses does Vitality have currently under construction? Joel, do you know?
I could get you that answer in just a minute here.
Yep, no worries. Take your time, but I got a feeling it's a lot.
Was he the one that we,
That was Sergey.
oh, thanks.
But I think that applies to everyone. We really want to cut down on the open construction.
Absolutely, but 2 of our biggest ones would be Vitaly and Sergey, and I think Vitaly's with us. So, Vitaly, do you know how many open houses you have under construction currently?
Well, let me say something. I'm not the lead builder on this. I'm just one of, and I'm not the owner. And I'll be involved, but I won't be the main guy in this one. We got a couple other people. Aaron and Jay are in the meetings. They can answer a lot more questions about it. I'm just kind of here to listen in. But on the other question, I got 3 that I'm finishing up here this summer. 1 I'm finishing up here in a few weeks, and so I'm getting through my builds.
Nice.
There's progress.
Nice. So you
I
got
still
3 of
got-
them you're going to finish by the end of the summer?
Yeah, 1 in a couple of weeks, and 2 more here in a month or 2.
Nice.
We're moving along. They're all in the same similar stages, but we're moving along on all of them, or most all of them.
So Keith, when we're considering these open construction sites, are we looking at the name on the application, or what are we considering? Because it could be, you know, friends, relatives that or other contractors that are building these, but essentially the same person with 4 or 5 open construction sites.
They're all relatives. So what I'm looking at in particular for me is and again, it's a little bit outside of our purview with some extent. The biggest thing we're having is complaints, right? Everyone in the community, I don't know what everyone, but a lot of Facebook, social media and stuff, the biggest complaints I see and I get and emails I get is about unfinished construction sites left in various arrays of state. You know, you have little piles of dirt on one. Sure, it's covered up and you have
Porta potties.
What's that?
The porta potties.
Yeah, honey. Yeah, you got the honey pot, porta potties everywhere. You have basically just unfinished. So they come in, they cut a few trees, they get approval. Okay, great, cut trees. Okay, I started. Throw some gravel down and they leave the gravel there for a year. And then they use it to transport dirt from site to a different site, stockpile some dirt there, pick it back up when they need it. Houses become really mill shops instead of being finished. They're used for other stages of construction for different projects. And so we're trying to cut down on that. And so like we did with Sergey, and we're asking Vitaly here, that's why we ask, how many houses do you have that are currently unfinished? Because every house will come in, oh, it's I'm gonna owner builder, you know, not necessarily occupy it, but that's the intent they give. I'm gonna live there someday. No, we know you're not, but that's fine. And we don't mind you having 2 or 3 or 4 of them going. We just want them finished, not going for 2 or 3 or 4 years, sitting there in various stages. That's the problem. And so to answer your question, I'm looking at the company name where I see VP Stone and Tile. That's Vitaly. So yes, he listed someone else up top for a mailing address. Sovereign Homes. I don't know who's Sovereign Homes. They're new to me, I believe, but Joel may be familiar with them.
Thanks. Sovereign Home, that's Axe Engineering, that's Aaron Russell. I think that's his LLC.
What's that?
I believe that's Axe Engineering's Aaron Russell is the.
Hi, this is Aaron. I'll speak up.
That's Aaron's here. That's your company, right, Aaron?
Yes, correct. So I'll quick speak to this issue of timing and keeping construction going. Yeah, my name's Aaron Russell, Axe Engineering, stormwater engineer. You see many of our stormwater plans come through with a lot of the new builds, construction in Sudden Valley.
Yeah.
Not to go off on a tangent, but I heard some of the discussion before about stormwater concerns as these lots are built and contributing more drainage to the ditch system in SVCA. That would be an issue I would love to talk with the SVCA and the ACC at more depth another time, or make a special visit to talk about it, because I agree there could be improvements to the overall ditch system through the throughout the valley. But these 2 projects are actually a joint venture under the name of Sovereign Homes, and with Axe Engineering, myself and Jay as the primary owners. Vitaly will be our builder, but he's part of a bigger building group with our team. The current project we also have building with Vitaly is 16 Canyon Court, which is the one that's just going to be completed in a couple of weeks here. That one we got permitted for construction last summer, started right away, broke ground, got everything done in the watershed window of the summer, have been building over the fall, winter, spring, and we're just coming up to completion. We actually have the building pre-sold. And so I think we made very good time on this build.
Mm-hmm.
The pre-sale is actually one of the highest sale prices in the upper end of Sudden Valley in this last year. And our intent is to do the same with these 2 builds side by side. We are a week away from building permit approval with the county. We're hoping to leave this meeting with SVCA approval, and our intent is to start break ground right away and follow the same path as Canyon Court. Finish all earth work disturbance this summer, Have the site completely buttoned up before the end of the watershed window and not even cutting it close. And then framing and building to proceed right after that through the fall, winter, spring.
Okay. So, okay, okay. So that answered that, I believe, in a pretty good fashion. If we leave the tally out of it, then these guys have done okay. Now, I have another question, and you guys can ask more about, the timing on this if you want, but I had another question regarding these lights up in the soffits. How do you propose a homeowner change these lights that are up in soffits?
On a ladder.
Yeah, that's a very good question. It definitely needs to be accessed safely by a ladder. I have some highlights like that at my own personal house.
I know.
I understand it is a little bit more harder to change the light bulb. We make sure we put high quality new LED lights in that actually have a life of 5 years before needing to change a bulb. So you're not climbing up a ladder every 4 months to change the bulbs either.
Yeah, but I saw the house over here. I think it's yours that had the lights up in top. It's one of your guys's that live here. And a 2-story ladder wouldn't even reach the soffit. So I'm like, look at that. Look at those soffits at 3 stories up. How do you get up there? You say you can't do that from the attic. It's a flat roof.
Correct, but we were able to use ladders to get up there to install the lights.
Yeah, no, I get that, but like I say, in Joe Blow homeowner, someone comes, I come, or not me, because I could do it too, but someone else comes and buys your house and goes, yeah, oh, the light burned out, the one in the middle, I'd like that replaced. Good luck.
Yeah, so that is something that they'll have to deal with probably about once every 5 years. And they buy the house knowing that they'll have that.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying that, and I normally wouldn't question, right? Because you see LED lights are good for 20,000 hours or whatever. I put all LED when I moved in here. I changed every light bulb out and I've already had 3 burn out. So I'm like, what the heck? They're supposed to last my lifetime and they're not.
Yeah. No,
but anyways, yeah, I was just concerned about that. I get how it looks. It's kind of cool. I do that on my next build myself on a single story. I wouldn't do a 3-story thing like that, but I like how it looks myself. I just was curious the thought process that goes into how to change those.
And we showed this as an example of the look we're going with these 2 builds, but these 2 builds are much smaller. They're not going to be up high like this. They're 2 stories, much easier to access to change the light bulb.
So are those lights designed to shine directly on the house as sort of an accent light, or do they shine within the yard area too?
No, these are downshine lights. This is Jay Young speaking up. Yeah, these are downshine lights. It's not gonna, broadcast a lot of light throughout the yard for like a landscape effect really at all. And then just to speak to the height issue, it's the most elegant solution I found. It's pretty cheap to get a bulb changer. It's sort of like a you can put it on the end of an extension pole, and it just makes things very, very simple for homeowners. Pretty much anybody can do it, and it's pretty cost effective to get one of those solutions going. Widely available, Home Depot, Lowe's, or even on Amazon.
Yeah, you know what? What's Jay Young? I'll tell you, you've never done that. Changed one, have you?
Actually, I
not a tall one like that.
Yeah, my previous career was in home, like doing maintenance for homes. And this was an excellent solution. Actually, our crews had one on all of their trucks and it worked great.
Okay, good. Yeah, because like say Joe Blow homeowner, there's no way. It might be easy for you or me, like I was saying, but get somebody else to try to, because even with that extension pole, you ain't going to get an extension pole that's going to reach from the floor at that house up to that light bulb without getting on a ladder. So now you're on a ladder with the extension pole and all that, but that we're getting off track and we don't have a lot of time. But I was just curious about the thought process that went with putting the light bulbs up way up in the soffits like that. Okay, Joel, let's get back to you on let's go through your checkoff sheet real quick on this too.
Yeah.
Make sure where we're at on everything. Your height definition,
Yeah,
your
let's
driveway
see,
slope,
pull it up here. We've got,
property coverage looks good.
yep, everything looks good. I don't have any issues on this one. I think the only thing remaining was,
Oh, this is the one where you guys adjusted the lot line. Hey, has that lot line been recorded? The lot line adjustment.
Yes, it is in the process of being recorded today or tomorrow as we speak.
Okay, all right, that was a smart idea. That's the only way you could make those lots work. Actually, how you did it.
Yes.
So,
We've spent about 2 years working with the county to get these lots to this point.
nice, nice. Yeah, it's a tight fit, but now another question I had. Why is the address Sudden Valley Drive and not Green Hill Road? Since both driveways are on Green Hill Road and your front door is on Green Hill Road.
Great question. That's because these two lots are sandwiched between Sudden Valley Drive and Green Hill. So that would be the county needing to readdress it if they chose to do so. But as like we said, we spent about 2 years working on how could we best build on these lots with the least amount of impact. They are sloping. See the access to the one corner lot. And so any access coming in off of Sudden Valley Drive would have really created some issues with driveway access off that more main street. And then just building way more on the slope and impacting a lot more trees and areas.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you that that's the only access point, the best access point to come in at. I was just curious, like, I would hate to be a UPS driver out here because half these addresses are so screwed up like this, and this is how it starts. Like you have a Sudden Valley Drive access, and the houses are really on Green Hill.
Correct. Yeah, and unless the county would actually assign an updated address.
Yeah.
You know, you probably should have that done because if emergency vehicles have to come in, they're not going to be able to find it. You know, I think it's pretty important to have it on the right street.
Yeah, and luckily this one right on the corner, that would be 103. No, sorry, 105. No, sorry, 103. 103 on the corner will be visible from Sudden Valley and from the intersection, from Sudden Valley Drive and the intersection there. We'll make sure we have the address kind of facing so it's visible from both streets. There by the driveway and the balcony that you're seeing there.
okay, so the only thing I have, I guess Sudden Valley to consider is retaining wall along the driveway here is proposed to be painted epoxy black. And then the building is at the height limit of 20 feet. I have lowered the house a couple feet to meet that height limit.
Show me that retaining wall again.
So it's here along the driveway, coming down.
And how much of that is exposed?
I think it's going to be 1 to 4 feet. It's going to follow some of the contour of that slope.
1 to 4 feet. And how long is the 4-foot section?
4-foot section would be as you get closer to the garage entrance, starting at 1 foot in height at the beginning of the wall, rising slowly in elevation until a height of 4 feet right next to the garage entrance. That would transition into a slope of 3 to 1 above the wall, sloping back and everything matching into the natural topography there.
So do you want to approve a black epoxy coating on that wall or require wood screening or exposed aggregate?
Well, I'm trying to figure out where you're gonna see that retaining wall from.
It's going to come out, correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, Aaron, it's going to be the extension of this foundation wall here.
Yeah, that foundation wall is really like a daylight basement type of foundation cut into the bank. But as soon as you come a few feet back from the house there, this topography really slopes down.
Right.
And so it won't be as high as what's shown right there for the foundation wall. If you see those elevations, I've included the top and the bottom elevation, so you can kind of see how it starts at 528 to 527, so 1 foot difference, to a 3.5 foot difference, and then a 4 foot difference at the end. There you go.
Down to a 1.
That's like down to 0 and then, okay.
So similar to the other walls that were previously discussed, it will be cut into the bank. So from the left side of the screen, you won't see it from the top. We'll have plantings along the top of it, but you'll be seeing it from the downhill from the driveway side.
Yeah. And so you'd rather do, I guess, rather than clad it with something, I guess painting epoxy is the cheapest thing to do. Again, I'm not sure that black is the ideal color, you know. I guess your house is black though. Yeah, it's just, it has to be, you know, a concrete. I mean, this again, just me, but it has to be that concrete approved, like epoxy coating, something that's actually going to stick and bond to the concrete. What we don't want is it flaking and peeling off in 2 years or 1.5 years. And like one down the street for me, I think they painted it like 4 times before anybody even actually sold the house and moved into it, because it kept flaking and peeling off. So it just, that's why normally we wouldn't even entertain paint, because it doesn't work. But the epoxy for concrete, it does seem to work. It does seem to last, and we are open to new ideas. But it's got to look as, you know, aesthetically pleasing as well. So that one, you're not going to see it from the street too much, except for down on Green Hill. And really, it's more for the homeowner, I guess. At that time, you're going to see it from the driveway side. Patrick, Joe Jean, do you guys have anything? Daniel, anything about epoxy coating on the retaining walls? So it's a poured in place concrete retaining wall, and correct?
Correct.
Say that again?
Yeah, correct. Poured in
Okay.
place retaining wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so are you guys okay with?
Yeah, the color I'm okay with. The flaking would be one concern for me, but if it's the epoxy that works well, I'm cool with it.
And with black, you're all right with it? Okay.
Sure.
Patrick, any concerns on that retaining wall?
No, it's fine.
You're fine. Okay. All right. So we can move off the retaining wall. It'll just be one of our comments we're going to have on there, that it must be black epoxy. And I'll let you have some leeway on the black, because you may want to go gray or, you know, whatever best going to match, but it does need to be epoxy, concrete epoxy. Okay, go ahead, Joel, continue on.
That is the only concern well, that's the only thing I need to bring to your attention. I believe the building is at the height limit. I have no other outstanding issues.
All right, now I have a question. How hard is it to change the address, to get that address changed to Green Hill like it should be? Is that, I don't know, because I've never done it here in Washington. Is it impossible? Is it near impossible? Is it?
That's a great question. With the way the county's backed up, it would definitely take some time. It took us almost a year of permitting from last summer till now, just to get movement on the lot line adjustment.
Wow.
And so we're definitely not opposed to that. So as we proceed with construction over the next year, that is something that we'd be open to looking into and applying to the county and seeing if that is possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, it would be great by the time this construction is finished, if that was possible, to have it switched over.
Yeah, I would, so I'm gonna put that as one of the conditions in here. And not that, you know, I'm not making it a condition that you must change the addresses, because you don't know, and I don't know what that would entail, but I will make the condition that we are requesting the address to be changed to Green Hill, because that's where the access, the front doors, the driveways and everything. This is really, it should be Green Hill street address. So I'm going to make, go ahead. Yeah.
If you look at the other house at 105, that drive goes right on to Green Hill also.
Yeah, that's what I would say, both of them.
Both of them do.
Yeah, we're gonna want, it's the same builder, so yeah, we're gonna want both of them changed for the Green Hills. We'll make that same one, and hopefully it's something that can be done. And like you said, it might take a year and a half, and hopefully they can have it done before they're done with construction. They can put it on their flyers to address the house for Green Hill.
Yeah, we're happy to do that. We can certainly start the application process and make sure you guys are notified that that's happening.
That would be sweet. I really appreciate that. Okay. Any other questions or comments or concerns on 103 Sudden Valley Drive?
No.
No.
No, I only had, so how many, not finished, all right, Vitaly answered that already, we're good with you guys, you're getting through your one, you're close, okay, Rex to revise deposit, oh, that was if, okay, it's not Vitaly's thing, it's yours, okay, 3, what type of metal roof, it looks like a standing seam on the picture, is that correct? This
Yes,
is
correct.
silver and gray metal roof, it didn't say what kind or anything.
Yes, correct. Standing seam.
Standing seam, okay. Standing seam, and then the other question I had was for address should be on Green Hill. We already discussed that. Okay, and now up one more. How do you expect a homeowner to change the light bulbs? Okay, that was I wrote that one on there too. Okay, that's all I had on there. So can I get a motion on this? And then the motion would be, if we're all in agreement, we're going to move to approve with the condition of the black gray epoxy or black or gray epoxy, concrete epoxy. Let me make a note of that. Concrete epoxy paint, okay, on retaining wall. And then we're asking for requesting the addresses be changed to Green Hill. The address on this one, because we'll do it individually, address be changed to Green Hill.
I move to approve.
Who said that? Daniel?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Daniel and Patrick for the second.
Yes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, that one's been approved. And now we'll go to 105 Sudden Valley Drive. So it'll be the same comment on that. So we're going to go with the address. We'll start off with that one right away. Address change to Green Hill. I think it's Green Hill Road, but I don't want to say without verifying, but okay. Oh, hey, one question we have. We didn't look at the paint colors. That's all right, but it's black and white again. That's why to me, they're like all the same houses. Every one of them, peppercorn, black or navy.
Yeah.
All right.
We did make a point of choosing colors off the approved list, and you'll see both of these two houses will vary from each other to make sure there's some variance that.
Yeah, don't do the same colors right next to each other. Okay, so 105 Sudden Valley. Same thing. Hardy plank, everything looks good. Lighting sample. We're doing the same lights on this one. Epoxy coating. Okay. And this one I had no notes on. Although I just want to openly state to you guys while you're listening here is again the trees, right? You have 2 lots that are, and that corner is heavily forested, right? And it's a nice little buffer zone from traffic and noise and just outside pollutants. And you're going to be taking, I think I counted 20 trees, I think between the 2 of them removing. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but that's significant, man. And it's going to be a big difference. And you're going to probably hear some blow by from the community, just so you guys know that. So be cautious when you're taking the trees down, be considerate, make it seem like you really care for the trees when you're doing this stuff. So people don't get.
Yeah, we're gonna hear about it too.
Who said that?
Dan.
Oh yeah, no, we are gonna hear about it and they're gonna hear about it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna hear about it, guys. So just like I said, be gentle, give, care, act like you're caring for the trees and just do a good job. Be alert that people are going to be watching what you're doing there.
Yeah, that's no problem. When I was on site, really taking a look at the same thing just to get my eyes on it. I'm feeling pretty confident that we're going to maintain some sense of screening from the trees that are up on the higher elevation at Sudden Valley
Mhm.
Drive at the top.
Yeah.
And
good.
I feel good about that. And yeah, I don't think we're really only trying to do what's necessary for the build on the tree removal. But yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
Heard that. No problem.
Okay, excellent. Appreciate that. Okay, guys, any comments, concerns on this one? Comments, concerns, or questions? And then, all right, Joel, why don't you go ahead and go through our checkoff sheet real quick, and then while we're thinking about what we might need to ask you.
Yeah, numbers all look good on this one too. Height's 18.5 feet, driveway's 13%, slope, property coverage 24.5%, open spaces about 67%. All those numbers look good. Setbacks are right at the 5 feet on the sides and the 20 in the front. I have no, they've come out and made all the revisions I've asked for them to do. So I don't have anything left except for your approval for that another retaining wall being proposed to be covered in epoxy.
Yeah, I think I'm good with that. Guys, you have any other comments, questions, or concerns about this project?
No,
Request the address change. Go ahead.
I'm good.
It's good.
Okay, so the motion on the table would be to approve this project with the conditions. We're going to request an address change to Green Hill, and the coating for the epoxy coating for the concrete wall or retaining wall must be concrete epoxy. Make sure you're bonding to the concrete. We don't want it peeling and flaking and discoloring in 6 months to a year. Can I get a motion with those comments?
I move to approve.
Okay, Dan, how about the colors? Are we good with the colors?
Yeah, I am.
So Roy
I think
Crump, copper red is okay on this one?
That is a pre-approved color.
Yes.
This
Pretty
is the much
approved.
more muted red. that's
Horrible.
approved.
And where's it going? Where is
I'm
it?
not crazy about it either, but
It's the body color.
It's going where the blue is at, like on this picture?
We're definitely not doing Lego blocks on this one. It will be more of the main body.
It'll be cool. It'll be like a cabin look, It'll be good.
All right, man, I'm trusting you.
good luck with that.
Okay, so that's the table, and we had a motion by Daniel. Can I get a second?
Second.
That's Patrick. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, guys, that's unanimous. Good luck with that, and hopefully we get those address changes. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, we will definitely get that moving, and thank you all very much. Really appreciate it.
You bet, man. Have a good day. Okay, that was items number 23 and 24. That ended our back page. Anybody else in attendance for any other projects we haven't mentioned yet?
No, but there's one new construction outstanding, and that Joel, item 11, Sanwick Point, 11 Sanwick.
Oh, that
Yeah.
one got deleted, right?
You wanted to be pushed to the August.
Yeah, okay, guys, so item number 11, we're gonna bring it real quick. They have retracted their application. So the motion on the table is that we're just gonna defer.
Yeah, that one looked problematic.
I think you want to postpone, right?
Nope, I'm postpone. The same thing. We're deferring it, postponing it. It's deferring until they're ready to resubmit. So
He said he was backed up with trying to line up contractors and get people ready. So he was worried about not being able to, worried about getting approved, but then not being able to start.
yeah, no, I hear you. Diane, do you have some reason that we have to say postpone, that you want me to say postpone? Does it matter? To me, it's the same thing. Postponing, deferring is the same thing. We're just deferring until they're ready. So I don't want to deny it, obviously, right? We don't want to do that. So go ahead, tell me.
We can talk about that offline, but
Okay.
you've been deferring, so I know what you mean.
Okay, great. All right, so the motion on the table would be defer the project until actually they want to resubmit. So I don't have a timeline on it. That's up to them. Can I get a motion for that? or I'll make that motion. So that's by Keith. Can I get a second?
I second.
Okay, Daniel, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's unanimous. So that takes care of 11. Sanwick. Okay, very good. So that's deferred or postponed until the future date. Okay, now we're gonna go back up to, is anyone else here for any other projects?
I don't see anyone.
Okay, great.
You see us.
Yeah.
Okay, item number 2, let's get through these as fast as we can. Then item number 2 is approval of the June 15th, 2023 ACC meeting minutes.
Move to approve.
Okay, that's Joe Jean.
Second.
Second.
We have a Daniel, we have a second and a third. Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, item number 3, 4 Lookout Mountain. It's actually, so this one, the work was already done. So I went up and looked at it and they already had and it needed to be done anyway. So what they did, they really didn't need ACC approval. It was insignificant and they cut off a little leader that was coming off of another tree. It was about maybe 10 or 12 foot high. And when I got there, it was already cut and set next to the driveway. So I would make the motion to approve.
I second.
And that's Daniel, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so that's unanimous on item number 3, and that's fine. They did it without waiting, but like I said, they really didn't need us for what they were doing. Okay, item number 4 is 21 Tumbling Water. I got on here county permit. Wonder why. I think that's normal stuff. Diane's probably putting on all stuff, tree removal with county permit required. No, why can't I find 21? Huh. Diane, I have to say, I love the item numbers on top like that. It's great.
I do too. That's great.
Yeah, it is.
Yay.
Yeah, it makes like I can't find it, but I know it's gonna. Here it is. See, it made it
He
easy.
puts them on every page too.
Yeah. Okay, I'm requesting. This ain't right. This 15? No. What am I
Looking at item 4.
Item 4, 21 Tumbling Water Drive.
Ah, I looked at item 21. Okay, here we go. We didn't blast the road, clean it up. We are trying to be proactive. So I had on my thing, I just wrote approved and I numbered them. I think I numbered them. I don't think they were numbered. Yes, yes, and yes. Yeah, so all 3 of them, I put yes on it with a note I can't read. I can't read what I wrote. May need 2. There might be another tree there. I said may need to come down, but that's irrelevant. They didn't ask for that. So the 3 trees I looked at, I am in agreement that they could come down and not an issue. You guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about that?
No.
No, I move to approve.
Okay, that's Patrick. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Joe Jean, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. And that was item number 4. Okay, item number 6, 26 Huckleberry, tree removal. So this one, I put deferred, it goes to Sudden Valley, but let's see what it is. Item number 6. Item 6. Six trees. So I have Sudden Valley on these. I do not know why, nor do I recall this house for some reason. I don't know why. But I put on refer to Sudden Valley. So either I drove by and just went Because I didn't put notes on there, so normally I would have got out like made notes, so I just put all Sudden Valley, so it must be on Sudden Valley's property, or I assumed.
Yeah,
it was.
that's checked off on Sudden Valley property.
Oh, okay, all right. So that's all I had was defer to Sudden Valley maintenance, so. So I need that motion.
Yep.
That's Joe Jean. And you're gonna defer to Sudden Valley. Maintenance / admin. For review. They can either take them down or they can look at them and get them on a monitoring list. Okay, can I get a second? Joe Jean made the motion.
Second.
Patrick for the second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that is unanimous. Okay, that was item number 6. Okay, item number 7, 60 North Point Drive, tree removal. I have seen notes. Okay, so this one here, the tree appears to be healthy. And I wish that homeowner was here. The tree seemed very healthy. I can understand the reason why they would want it removed, just because of its location and everything else. But I was wondering if the homeowner might not entertain the idea of trimming the tree, limbing it, you know, like have a nice person come out and look at it and just freshen it up. I think it looked fine. Now, if they had an arborist report, again, a good example of an arborist, had they had an arborist report with it and said, yep, that tree's causing a problem and needs to come down, I would be so inclined to say, okay.
Yeah, it's a really big tree and some of the branches may need to be cut back, but it's healthy enough that it's not going to just fall over for no reason.
That's how it seemed to me. It seemed very healthy.
Yeah.
I
It's a
hate
big
cutting
tree.
down a good tree. Yeah. So that's why I wish the homeowner is here. I just don't want to be, oh no, you can't take a tree down that you feel is harmful, but.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think an arborist report is not asking much. They're concerned about the roof. So cutting back some of the branches may be all they need.
I'll be honest, I'm not an arborist again, but when I looked at it, that's what I thought. It just needed a few select branches taken out of it and just spruced up. I think it was a fine tree. So that would be my recommendation, that either they obtain an arborist report. We could say that, obtain arborist report to remove tree.
Save them a ton of money.
Hey guys, what do you think about that? Joe Jean, Patrick, what do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh, okay. All right, so Daniel, is that your motion?
Yes.
Okay, can I get a second?
Also,
All right, Joe Jean, and then we're all in favor, so that's unanimous. So the motion on the table was denied until an arborist report is obtained. And not only denied, the committee is recommending that the tree just be limbed, get someone out there that knows trees, and I bet they'll say the same thing. That's a beautiful tree. You don't want to take it down. But we don't want branches hitting their roofs either, so. Okay, so that's the motion on the table there. That's 60 North Point. Okay, item number 8, 75 North Point. This is a paint. Item number 8, I had, and they painted a sample, so I just wanted to give a shout out. I wrote on here, thanks for painting the samples for us. So they put little swatches on the house. It was really cool. It made it easy, and I was good with it.
Is that the new paint or the previous paint? Because this is the one that had the change.
Well, that's a good darn question. I'm going to assume it was the older paint. But I still appreciate the fact that they did do that. So this one, she changed the greener to is that correct? The Durango is now a lighter shade. I think, what was it called? Diane, you have that other color? What was
dried thyme?
There you go, dried thyme. Yeah, so it's a lighter green, not as dark green. So I'm good with it myself,
but they've got the body of the house white. Are you good with that?
Actually, it's yes. Yeah, the way that one looked, yes. Which is odd, I know.
Yeah, they've got the body as the trim color, and then the trim as the body color.
Yeah, and oddly enough, it looked good.
But I'm good with it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll move to approve.
Okay, that's Joe Jean. And I'll take Patrick for the second.
Yep.
All in favor?
Um,
Was that a yes, Daniel?
Yes.
Okay, yep, that's unanimous. With her new color, so we're good with that. Okay. Thank you, Diane, for bringing that up too about the color change. Appreciate that. Okay, item number 9, Inlet Circle.
Move to approve.
Wow. I didn't get my paperwork.
Well, you saw it just like I did. If anything.
Oh,
approve
okay,
that.
so Joe Jean moves to approve. So here's one of the things. So how do you guys feel, Patrick and Dan?
I mean, I don't think that's gonna prevent any cars from driving into their street. I have nothing against it really, but I'm not sure it's gonna solve their problems.
Okay.
Well, if it's strong enough, it might, because they're gonna be sliding down that curved part of the road right into those people's driveway and house. And that happened in the last big storm season.
No, I don't doubt that. I just wonder
When I
if this,
was there,
I wonder whether what they're proposing is actually gonna prevent that.
Or just be more debris to pick up in the driveway.
Yeah.
well, it might stop the car before it gets all the way down onto
Slow it
the
down a little bit.
property. And I mean, when it happened during the snowstorm, a lot of their retaining wall and stuff was destroyed. And to build, I mean, it's not like cars are speeding up that hill. They're going to be sliding down because of the snow. And
Yeah,
I think the retaining wall would be better than nothing.
Yeah, so what the only notes I made, and Roy happened to be out there when I went out there, which is nice. So I got to meet him and look at his stuff he has, which is cool. But I just, so it's going to be referred over. It's in the right of way, so it's going to go over to Sudden Valley anyways. But we just have to approve. Like, are we okay with his fencing? What he wants to do for the use for that guardrail? And I think it's fine. So the questions I had on here is one for Mike and Joanne. Is Mike, head of maintenance. Is there going to be any snow removal issues with them? Like, do they care? And then SVA maintenance manager obviously needs to approve. And then ACC, are we okay with proposed finishes of cedar wood? And I'm fine with that. I thought it would look good as long as it's staying to take care of. And then he was asking for Sun Valley if they'd split some of the costs with them. And so that would be also referred to Joanne. So we just send that over to Joanne, and Joanne, I said chances are no, but Joanne would certainly probably talk to you and tell you yay or nay. But I doubt it. And he was okay either way. He didn't really care. He just wanted to get it done. So that's what I had. So it's going to go to Sudden Valley to make sure there's no snow removal issues, and it's in the Sudden Valley right away. And are we okay with the 2.5 foot high of a little cedar fence going around? That's kind of it.
Yes.
So, you guys are good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, can we get a motion
I move to approve
You already did.
with comments?
with
Wait,
comments.
Joe Jean already did that.
Oh.
Oh,
Move to
Joe
approve?
Jean did? Oh,
Yeah, that's right. She
Joe Jean
jumped. That's
started
right,
it
she
before I
jumped right
touched
up.
the paper. That's right. All right. So Joe
We've
Jean-
only been doing this for 3 hours and 15 minutes. I want to go eat lunch.
All right. So that's and then we're all in favor with that.
I'll second it.
Yes.
All right. So that, I put you down in a second. Okay. So that's unanimous with those comments at SVCA. I'll get with Diane on that and make sure, but Diane heard everything.
Yep.
Okay. So that takes care of that one. 12 Inlet Circle. We're almost done, I think. Okay. Item number
14.
14, thank you. Item number 14, 5 Appaloosa Court, exterior paint. 14. Item 14. So the only thing I had on this, it says all areas, so one color. Oh, now it's brown. So they had little sections on the bottom that had brown. I guess it's all gonna be one color now, no more brown. So they're gonna have just the entire house, the Downing slate. Included paint swatch above and the trim, the approved white, pure white. So if you guys are okay with that green,
Yes,
Yep.
get a motion.
I'll move to approve.
All right, that's Joe Jean. Second,
I
Patrick,
second.
that's Patrick, got it out first. And that's unanimous, apparently. Okay, we're good with that. 5 Appaloosa. That was 14. Okay, now to 17. I thought we did that, though. Oh,
yeah, we did. We're on 20.
That one's done. Okay, 20, 215 Polo Park. I got notes on that too. 20. Okay, oh, this was an easy one. Yeah, remove all roof, the wood shake. Only reason why I had notes because I was curious what the garage, he said the garage metal roof. He happened to pull up while I was out there. He doesn't live there all the time, but he happened to just be there. And so the back of the garage has a existing metal seamed roof. Like they only did that one back section. You can't see it from anywhere else. So he wants to leave that section and then redo the rest of the roof, which I didn't have an issue with after seeing it. I don't know if you guys had any issues or comments about anything.
No, I was just concerned about the metal roof, but you said that's okay.
Yeah, I was fine with it. Yeah, so it looked like it had been replaced not too many years ago. It looked fairly newer. Just that one section in the back. I don't know why they didn't do the whole roof.
I'll move to approve.
Okay, that's Joe Jean. Can I get a second?
Second,
Patrick, all in favor?
aye.
That's unanimous. Okay. That was 20. Okay, item number 21, 15 Gray Birch. This is the one we all went out and looked at, or most of us did. Hopefully Wayne, I know Wayne did. I don't know that he went and looked at it. He sent me his comments on there. 15 Gray Birch, item number 21. So I'd like to get your comments on this. Go ahead.
This is the one we all together.
Yeah, that's what we went out and looked at.
Daniel.
Yeah, it's where you find your hydrangeas.
All right, yeah. So here's.
We talked to that.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So in looking at 15 Gray Birch, the application, one of the things I didn't get on there is in the beginning where it says, I am requesting that a setback to an unimproved right of way remain at 7 feet, not 20. That whole statement to me is incorrect unless I'm reading it wrong 900 times. I don't know what he's saying. Remain at 7 feet, not 20 feet. So to me, I don't want it to be written like the application was written purposely wrong. So we would answer in a way that left us open, like, you know.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
7 feet and 20. I mean, isn't that what he's asking for?
I asked this before and I don't recall what he said, but like after knowing more, I don't want it to be a trick question. Like, oh, I'm requesting that a setback to an unimproved right of way remain at 7 feet, not 20 feet.
Yeah.
It's just odd. It can't remain at 7 feet. There's no 7 feet current setback now at all. So the whole
and let's deny it.
Yeah, well, that's yeah, and then it says a purpose to retain tree canopy and reduce phosphorus output. So it's very odd. So yeah, I am agree. I think so. Let's just to be clear, so we just don't deny it and then it come back to us in 2 weeks, right? With it, okay, let me write it better in a different way and bring it back to you. So we're going to deny it. And what I'm asking, I guess, basically, if we were to get it asked in a different way and sent to us, would we approve it then just because it was worded differently, or would we still be in denial? not in denial. Would we still deny it? We're all in denial. Right? I mean, how did you feel? I know how Wayne felt. Wayne was a no. I was hoping Rich would have sent me something or asked him why I was on here. But the way it's seeming to me from everything I've heard so far is like it's going to be an overwhelming no on a detached 2-story, 2-car garage.
Well, he's just asking about the variance. He's not mentioning,
Exactly.
an out.
He's
That is
asking for an
exactly
extra
correct.
accessory structure. The size is too big and the setback is off. So he's asking for a lot out of this. And,
All right, so I'm in agreement then more so with Joe Jean than on that, just a flat out denial, flat, plain and simple.
I agree.
Patrick, what do you think?
Yes.
Okay. So the motion is, Joe Jean, is that your motion?
Yes.
Okay, Joe Jean, it's a deny. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
That's Daniel. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Okay, that one is denied. Okay, and for more than one reason. So it's oddly written. Like I felt a little like, uh-oh, someone's trying to trick us into doing something. If we just deny it flat out, then we don't have to worry about it. Okay. All right, so that took care of our entire agenda. Is that correct?
Let's just go over it a little more just to make sure we haven't missed anything.
Let's just do it all over again.
Yeah.
Make sure we don't change our minds on anything.
I could move to approve if you guys want, or move to
Adjourn?
adjourn if you guys are in favor of that.
Let's double check. Yeah, I don't see anything that we've missed. The only thing I want to say is, so Rich did show up. Okay, that's good. So Rich was here. Rich had to leave.
Did we approve the, our agenda for this meeting and the 6:15 minutes?
Yes.
We did.
Yes,
We
we
did one
did.
of them, but did
Yeah.
we vote?
We did approve the ACC meeting to start off. Joe Jean and Daniel, Joe Jean made the motion to approve and Daniel seconded it. And the meeting minutes, Joe Jean and Daniel again.
Okay.
And Patrick, I wrote Joe Jean, Daniel, and then Patrick, and then unanimous, because I agreed with the meeting minutes. And everything else we got. So we're gonna call this meeting to end at 12:22.